Meantime, like the stream, everyone.
Honestly, I think he brought more investments into the U.S. than Biden did. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
What is up with all the different ones?
okay.
I just I was gonna say I remember what that clip what that is from that what clip that's from.
Uh-huh.
Your mic is off on YouTube.
Is it actually?
Of 2025 hits and we see it's stagnant once again. And everybody on the YouTube stream, I had no clue my mic was off. I'm so sorry.
Oh wow! But I've seen on different like results on websites and different information. I did research on myself that it dropped back in 2020 when COVID hit when Biden was in office.
Okay, I don't know how what you just said responds to anything, but even if we look at the graph once again, the drop in investment in manufacturing during COVID was minimal, and we had one of the largest increases in investment in American manufacturing quarter by quarter
Oh,
ever.
manufacturing. No, I'm talking about investments in general. I'm not talking about manufacturing by itself.
Investments in general. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, investments in general. Actually, if we're going to talk about since Trump came into office, it's actually worse because GDP has gone down.
I don't think so because he did
It
sign
has.
multiple trillion-dollar deals with
That's
the
not
Middle
true.
East.
That's just wrong. Not multiple $1 trillion deals, and then also quarter one 2025, right?
Uh-huh.
GDP has gone down by 0.3 in terms of real GDP.
Okay, no worries. How about for when the stock market?
I want to talk about something else. You said that he signed multiple $1 trillion deals. So he said
Okay,
that he
so it was
signed
a six
multiple.
hundred billion, 1.2 trillion,
Not
1.4
no
trillion.
no
Sorry.
absolutely not at all. And even like the White House fact sheets disprove that. So I know that Donald Trump has went on Truth Social and in front of a microphone and said that he's been able to secure multi-trillion dollar bills from countries like Qatar, etc. But
Huh?
I want you to understand that if they were to give us over $1 trillion, even if it was in 10 fucking years, they would
Yeah.
be spending 100% of their budget on their investment into America. So it's possibly infeasible. Okay. I'd also like to point out that even the White House has reported alternative information that disproves and debunks even what Donald Trump has said. And keep in mind, it's his own White House. So no, we have not secured multi-trillion-dollar bills.
Okay, I see. I mean, I've also seen research as well where just because of those tariffs, has brought multiple jobs into the U.S. by multiple companies constructing their companies here in the U.S. as well.
So then, why did our GDP go down in the first quarter of this year?
Yeah, because that was a transition from the old administration to the new one, so that made the drop go down because that's the way.
Why didn't that happen when Biden
I
took
mean, it
office?
happened back in 2014 when, back in 2014 when Trump went to office. Sorry, not 2014. Sorry, not 2014. I meant when what's his name?
You mean
Barack
2017?
O- yeah,
2017, that did not happen.
2017 when Barack Obama
That
he.
did not happen in
I appreciate
2017.
you.
Yes, it did.
No,
I'm
it
sure.
didn't.
Yeah, did I? I remember I did the research on that
No, it
as
didn't.
well.
GDP did not decrease.
And also, I'd like to point it out that 2024 was a big election year for like a lot of countries, and we
Uh-huh.
were one of the only countries on the face of planet Earth that experienced negative GDP growth in the first financial quarter. That was once again 110% manufactured by Donald Trump's shit policy, right? Not
Yep.
like just a transitionary phase.
Where's the evidence for that? Do you have like evidence?
Yeah, for sure. When he signed blanket tariffs into effect, this caused companies to stockpile their imported goods. So imported goods went up by 44%. So they were spending a lot of money outside of the American economy, as well as it decreased consumer confidence. So individuals were saving more and spending less. So then it also decreased consumer saving. So
Okay,
companies
okay.
were spending less money and consumers were spending less money as a result of his policy, meaning that we had negative GDP growth.
I mean, I'm not sure about the negative GDP growth because we're on a come up now
You
to
could be
getting
sure of
way
that. You
more.
could be sure of that. That's coming from the U.S. Bureau of Economics.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first couple
Bureau of
months
Labor
of him,
Statistics.
in office. So yeah, that could make
Well,
sense. Maybe why
there's
it
another
went down.
bureau.
It's
It's called
going up
U.S. Bureau of
gradually though.
Economics.
But
BEA, you mean Bureau of Economic Analysis?
yeah,
Let's
but I also want to
see.
speak about how gas is
Yes.
Yeah,
becoming
Bureau of
less
Economic
cheaper now as
Analysis.
well.
Yeah, so
And him constructing and actually more realizing more and having our economy more like in a sense have our own gas instead of relying on other countries as well. I mean that's also a good thing here for the U.S. It brings
have
jobs.
our own gas instead of relying on other countries. So again, I don't see how like us putting tariffs in place makes us rely on other countries less, right? Like I really don't, because it is the case that like that process to be able to produce goods would have to happen anyway based upon the increase in price. So you're just saying that it would be preferable if the increase in price happened now rather than happening whenever there would be some sort of circumstance
Hey, one
where there would
second.
be a
Guys,
reduction in level of imports.
stay on mute when you're not talking. You just have some feedback.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, so you want to respond? Okay. Um, in terms of that, you saying that we don't really rely on gas. Can you repeat your point one more time there? Because he muted me and then he spoke.
Yeah. So again, in terms of GDP, we saw one that it diminished and it went down, right? And two, in terms of the tariff policy that Donald Trump's advocating for, that will be harmful towards business practices in the United States because it has a regressive negative impact on lower and middle income individuals within the country. Those things are harmful, which will negatively impact GDP, which is what we've seen. The reason why this is specific to Donald Trump's policy is because of the effect of tariffs and because of the implementation of them, because we didn't see the same trend around the entire world, like Dean also said.
Okay, I mean, I understand your point, but the way usually tariff works is that you put a tariff on other countries so that they buy an extra tax from the products that you're either gonna buy or you buy from them, right?
Real
So
quick,
what
do
that
you mind if I
basically,
ask you what time it is, real quick?
it's 9:38 p.m. here in New York.
Okay, God.
Okay, I'm not lying. Okay, so yeah, in terms of that, you're saying that basically, I'll just basically explain the way that tariffs work is that mostly we rely on other taxes being more brought up here for countries. So that kind of makes it even more. But the way he used the tariffs in the first place was kind of like a leverage for him, because in the first couple weeks and couple months, countries will realize that if they keep going with these tariffs, that they're going to lose a lot of money and then they're going to get less support here from the U.S. Right? So that's what he did. He used that in a leverage. Now you can see that tariff is not as much as before, like when he had on China for at 125%. Now he had a 90-day deal here just to lower it down so they can have negotiate and kind of get back here on topic in the economic world as well. And also in terms of that, I wanted to speak on gas as well. I mean, we know for the past 4 years when Biden was in office, gas was very, very
How
expensive.
did Biden make gas more expensive?
Yeah, because of what happened with COVID, also what happened with the war in Russia and Ukraine that caused it more, and also the economic world
Okay, so it wasn't
across the world
Biden?
in general. Yeah, across the world
Okay,
in general,
so
right?
it wasn't Biden. So Biden didn't
Yes.
cause the increase in the price of gasoline. So do you think that Donald Trump has caused
No,
that
that's not what
increase?
I'm saying. I said he could have made it lower. He did not choose to make it lower, right? When Trump took office, it became much lower,
Okay,
even across here.
so what did Donald Trump do to make gas less expensive?
Yeah, so he negotiated with multiple countries. He
What
negotiated with
countries?
yeah, okay. So he negotiated first with the Middle East, just to bring up gas here more in Qatar. He had to negotiate there with them, and he also spoke here with when Russia and Ukraine to stop their war. That kind of eased tension across the world, and kind of realized that they can, in a sense.
I'm not aware of any negotiation that he had with Qatar to like increase the amount of imports that we're getting from them. But I'd also like to like make it clear that you're now advocating for something that's antithetical to your position on tariffs. Because earlier you said that tariffs are good, we need a domination of like American markets more. But now you're saying that he's actually negotiated deals with other countries so we could increase our imports and reduce our own production.
No,
But
no.
I don't think that he negotiated anything with Qatar. Then also as it relates to Russia and Ukraine, like you were false. Like now, as of today, he's actually begging Putin to stop bombing Ukraine, calling him a
Yeah, I
madman,
mean, I
saying
heard
that he
about
hasn't
that. Yeah.
respected anything. But I don't understand how that relates to how he's reduced the price of gas in America. Like, can you give us a straight answer? What has he done
Yeah,
since his
but,
term
yeah,
started to reduce the price of gas in America?
yeah, for sure. I mean, in general, when the war happened, all across Europe as well, gas was very, very, very expensive when the war happened. right? Germany relied a half percentage of their gas
Wait,
to
wait,
come from Russia.
I just want you to understand the question I'm asking you. You've said that he's already decreased the price of gas in like the first 125 days of his presidency. What has he done to decrease the price of gas already?
Yeah, I mean the multiple economic things and the
Like
multiple
what?
Multiple economic things.
Like
yeah,
what?
multiple economic things and meetings they had across the world.
Like what? I want you
Which
to stop
ones?
being vague. Be very specific. What has he done that has actionably reduced the price of gas in America already?
Yeah, so first of all, the first one is what happened with Russia and Ukraine. When he took office, the first thing that he was advocating for was for them to stop the war, right? And so what that caused here for Russia's, I mean, you can search it up. I mean, it is true. Russia's economy went up when he first took office by a bit, right?
That's not
And
good. We have sanctions on them. We want their economy to. The reason why it
we,
went
we don't
up.
want their economy to go
The
back.
reason
That's
why
the
it went
way-
up is because the U.S. was going to stop its
Wait.
support for Ukraine, which would benefit Russia.
Okay, but like, I just
No.
really want to stay on track here because I asked you what things he's done that has already reduced the price of gas in America today, and you start talking about Russia and Ukraine. Donald
Yeah.
Trump has not lifted sanctions on Russian oil.
I know he hasn't. But what I'm trying to say here-
So then that's not something that would have reduced the price of gas in America.
Yep.
Because the reason why in any involvement that Russia's had in increasing the price of gas in America is because we've like decreased the global supply that we're willing to buy from by sanctioning Russian oil. Okay, we're still sanctioning Russian oil. So no, anything that Donald Trump has done to reduce the price of gas, as you say, does not relate to Russia or Ukraine at all. So once again, what has Donald Trump done to reduce the price of gas in America already?
Yes. So first thing was the negotiation. Okay. Thank you. Okay, now I got it. The first one was when he negotiated with Canada. First of all, because the main tariffs in Canada were set in place were on timber, wood, and other stuff like that. Right. The only thing that Trump did not tariff on Canada was gas, and he actually.
That's not true.
Yes, that is true.
No.
Yes,
In his
that is-
original tariffs, he imposed a 10% tariff on oil and gas exports. This was lower than the 30% tariff on all other goods.
10%. Okay, yeah, you're right. That was 10%. But what he was also advocating for was for Canada to bring more gas.
Can you please
Yes.
tell me? Can you please tell me how him enacting a 10% tariff on Canadian oil, then pausing that 10% tariff, has reduced the price of gas in America today?
Yeah, because he was asking for more oil to be being flowed into the U.S.
No, he's never said that
If
ever.
the tariff was implemented, that would actually reduce the amount.
I mean, the companies that have been working, like Shell and other stuff like that, they got way more oil than usual flowing into the U.S. than before.
Can you give me a source?
Yes, go ahead and search up Shell.com, search up on their text.
And the only way we would see a higher imports of oil would be because we're expecting to see oil increase in price.
Can you say that one more time?
Only reason we would expect to see higher imports of oil is because it is the case that we would expect to see them stocking up because there's going to be higher prices of oil, right? And it will be harder for them to get supply.
Well, I mean, oil didn't
So
become
are
expensive.
they assuming that there's going to be higher prices for oil and that's why they're stocking up?
I mean, that's not an argument to have because what happened was
Wow,
when-
holy fuck. So U.S. net crude oil imports fall to 20% in 2025, to lowest since 1971. This is coming from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. So you just
The
spoke out of your
imports
ass.
fell?
Yeah.
Really? Damn.
Of oil specifically.
as of when did they fall?
As of February.
As of February. Okay. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe that could happen as well. But I mean, we know it here. It's factual information that gas did
Yep,
become
it did
cheap.
fall.
So you were making the argument that it is the case that he's reduced the price of gas by importing more oil. The imports of oil have fallen drastically. So stop talking out of your ass, or I'm just going to kick you from the live because you're very obviously just making shit up. Either be honest and say,
Yeah, that was just he totally just made that
yeah,
up.
or be honest and say,
Honestly, I did not make that up. I saw that somewhere and I did research on that.
either.
Really?
So tell
Not
us
from
what
any factual source.
what
Where'd
it-
you see it?
what has Donald Trump done to reduce the price of gas in America already since his term started? I'm going to give you one last chance.
Okay, well, I guess in that case, I'm just gonna do research on that. But I mean, we all know we can at least say that gas did become cheaper. So I mean, that is
Great, man. Well, I do appreciate you for coming up here. I just really don't appreciate it at all when people will just like lie and then try to justify the lie. You know what I mean? Like we spent like probably like 15 minutes talking to him about the different reasons why his complete and total lie was correct. And he was just making shit up. He started making shit up about Russia, and then he was making shit up about Canadian exports.
That was great, dude.
Like it's just so incredibly bad faith. Like I understand that people lie a lot, and I think like some people could lie in like a sense of being bad faith. But like that was just like super duper bad faith. Literally just trying to phrase whatever words he possibly could together to make an argument, regardless if they're true or false. What's up, Robert? How old are you?
18.
18. What year are you born in?
2006, August 2nd.
August 2nd. Okay. So do you support Trump, Robert?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Before we hop into our debate, I got a couple people to thank. And then also, Adam, I just want to put it out there. You don't need to mute people on the YouTube just for hating on me. It's okay. You can let them hate. And then also, Nike, thank you for the 100 Canadian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat. Holy shit. Nike says, Canada did not negotiate with Trump. We put tariffs back and Trump saw that Canada was not going to let him fuck with us. Don't say Trump won. We defended ourselves and we did good. Yeah, bro. W Canada and W Nike down below in that chat. Let's get 1,000 W Nikes. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much, Nike. I really appreciate that. As well as Coral, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube chat, as a super chat as well, saying for doing a road trip and still being able to go live today. Yeah, I'm like really tired. I'm like definitely very exhausted. As well as Yashika, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you so much. I do really appreciate that. Genuine question: were your previous live streams on my YouTube channel? As well as let's see here, REI with a $1.70 over on Venmo. But Robert, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Bro, first I just want to say, bro, talking in front of 5.7 thousand people is crazy. I did not think I was going to get accepted. Anyway.
Well, there's also 1,800 people on YouTube, and how many do you got?
Yeah, that don't help, bro. All right, calm down.
A little bit more. A little bit more.
All right, anyway. So I support Trump more. I voted for Trump, I'll say, because of what it means as a whole, instead of more just like because it's Trump. Like I didn't vote because I thought Trump was better than Kamala. I voted because I think
Kamala.
I said Kamala. All right, I'm sorry.
Kamala.
I got a Michigan accent, bro. I'm sorry. But anyway, so
What did you say? A Michigan accent?
yeah. But anyway,
Just call her Harris.
What does that have to do with?
Just call her Harris. Just call her Harris.
okay. But so I voted for Trump because I supported more like the whole movement instead of, just supporting for Harris or Trump. Like it's more to me. It's more to me beyond the two people. You know what I'm saying?
So what made Trump the better candidate? Why do
Because
you still support him today?
Because I think that the Democratic Party is more egregious. I think that the things that you see on media, I think
What? Can you be specific with what?
Yeah,
So you're
like,
actually saying that you voted for Trump because the Democrat Party has done such bad things and crossed red lines, but
well,
Donald
no, that's
Trump
just
hasn't.
one of the many. That's just one of the many.
So what
Can
is
you
so
be specific with what the things are?
yeah? What is so bad about the left that made you vote for Trump?
Well, I'm just saying, like, as an 18, I can't go fucking. I'm about to go bill for bill, statement for statement with you. I'm just saying, as an 18-year-old, what I've seen, like you talk to people, just like the general supporters around being a Democrat is just more egregious and like
Okay, so
more.
are you just saying like vibes? Or you're just saying like when you
No, I'm
kind of
just
like
saying
when you
it-
kind of
like-
like look at politics, you're like Democrats suck, Republicans are awesome, that type shit.
Yeah, but it goes beyond that. I'm not just saying I voted for
It goes
the vibe.
beyond that.
You're just
That's
trying to
a
make
good
it sound
part
like
of
I
it.
voted
It's
for the
It's a
vibe.
really good part of it.
So unless you could like be very clear with your reasons why you think that the Democrat Party is bad, yet MAGA is good, I think it is the case that you should probably just try to come up with another reason, because that'd just be a very baseless statement. I mean, how many times have you heard liberals say, "Oh man, like Trump's the worst," but I can't tell you a reason why. Like you probably look at that and you laugh and you say, "Haha, dumb, stupid liberal." That's what you're doing right now. So
No, that's
either
not
be
what
like
I'm
very
doing.
clear with your reasons.
I'm trying to go beyond, but I'm sorry, I'm not like a professor. But calm down, bro. But I'm saying like just in general. So when you look at politics, I'll give you one specific. When Trump showed up to a rally in a garbage can and like a garbage truck, and Biden called the people who support him trash. Like that's just not how you support Americans. You don't fall out. You don't fall out of your own race. You don't fall out of your own political race.
Can I 1 second?
No,
Can I please
nah.
read you Donald Trump's Memorial Day message that he sent out today?
Can we go beyond?
No.
each sentence
Let
I
me.
say?
Dude, how
let me-
fucking dare
let,
Biden?
let me read you this statement from Trump that he posted today. Happy Memorial Day to all, including the scum that spent the last 40 years trying to destroy our country through warped radical left minds who allowed 21 million people to illegally enter our country, many of them being criminals and the mentally insane, through an open border that only an incompetent president would approve, and through judges that are on a mission to keep murderers, de-drillers, rapists, gang members, and release prisoners from all over the world in our country so they can rob, murder, and rape again, all protected by these USA-hating judges who suffer from an ideology that is sick and very dangerous for a country. Hopefully, the United States Supreme Court and other good and compassionate judges throughout the land will save us from the decisions of these monsters who
Dean.
want our country to go to hell. But fear not, we have made great progress over the last
still
4
going.
months, and America will soon be safe and great again. Again, happy Memorial Day, and God bless America.
By the way, happy Memorial Day, everyone. But yeah, that is like actually like insane. That
Yeah.
is like imagine typing that. Like, dude, that must have been a really long shit for him to type that up.
And I also want to clarify that my inflections was just reading the tonality of the statement because it was all in caps. Not joking. Moving on to the next guest, go ahead and drop a maggot down below in that comment section. It's really sad that he left. I would have loved to hear his response to that. Very unfortunate. Let's go and get that next Trump supporter up in the box right now. Let us know if you're maggot down below. We will pull you up. Here we go, everybody. Jennifer, thank you so much for the $25 over on YouTube Super Chat saying that deserves a donation. Yeah, that took a lot out of me. I really appreciate that from you, Jennifer. Let's get 250. Jennifer W's. Thank you so much. What is going on, Tyson? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
Cookie King mugs you.
He doesn't mog me, bro. Stop.
Yeah, no,
On God, he
bullshit.
doesn't.
Tell him to get on the stream, bro.
He
Let's see it.
doesn't. He doesn't mog me. Cookie King doesn't mog me. Okay. All right.
That's diabolical.
Yeah, Prime Cookie's a myth, chat. Prime Cookie's a myth, chat. On God. Okay, we're gonna get Teddy up in here. Who's Cookie King? Says somebody in the chat. Don't worry about it. Teddy, what's up? Do you support Trump? He doesn't mug, bro. He doesn't hit the gym because it hurts.
Bro, that's like me too. Okay, you know what? That's you know, I went to the beach the other day. I played like Smash Ball or something, and I was like diving and hitting stuff, and I'm still sore, bro.
Dude. Yeah, I need to get
Hello.
back into the gym.
Hello.
What's up, Teddy?
Hello.
How old are you?
I am 18.
Yeah, bullshit.
No, you're
Teddy.
not.
Bullshit, Teddy.
May
Okay.
13th.
Wait, hold on. I just want to say something real quick. I know you're gonna kick me.
Fetus.
Yo, fetus, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta kick you. We're gonna go to get that next guest up in here. Y'all, if you are one of the 6K people listening and you support the president, let us know down below by dropping a me or a MAGA. We will get you up here to debate. What's up, player 4? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
How old are you?
29.
29. Why is your profile picture Trump as the Pope?
Because people get mad at it.
But who's gonna get mad at it? Catholics. Who do Catholics disproportionately support? Trump.
No, believe me, most Catholics are not upset of this. I think it's just the media saying that the Catholics are upset about it.
Okay, it's just the media. So that's why the Union of Catholic Bishops in America put out a statement calling him in that post a disgrace, right?
Yeah, but I don't think they are the
Yeah.
majority. I think.
Are you Catholic?
No, but actually, Parker,
Obviously, you're not a Catholic, or you would know
I am Christian,
that
though.
the church holds authority, and in the eyes of the church, what a bishop says is quite important.
Yeah, it is. But also bishops and any person, whether you're the Pope or even the last Pope, he always implemented humor in his sermons. If you actually sat down and watched them, he always used humor. So if someone else,
Well,
used
well,
humor-
you don't need to because you are the joke.
what do you mean?
But we won't debate you on it because we're not Catholic. I just think it's interesting. Take it away. Tell us why you support Trump. Also, that was a good
Well,
one.
first I want to say, Parker, we spoke the other day, and I actually had to get interrupted with a phone call, a very important phone call that we couldn't finish. We were talking about pro-life, and you brought up, assault. If God, said to do certain things, would that be defined as something? So sorry, I had to leave the call abruptly.
So why do you support Trump?
But
You're totally fine. I completely forgot. The only reason I remembered is because of the wildly absurd profile picture.
it's not wild.
Could you tell
it's,
us why you support Trump, please?
Sure. Again, Second Amendment, pro-life.
Second Amendment. Well, out of the
He
last two
supports
administrations,
Christianity.
what is the only he supports Christianity?
Well, yeah, of
Bro,
course.
I'm so sorry, but you got to be like a very like entry level Christian to think that shit. Like Donald Trump very obviously does not uphold like Christian teachings. He obviously
Uphold-
doesn't adhere to the scripture. of the
Adhering
Old
and
Testament,
upholding.
Okay, he obviously like doesn't perpetuate ideologies in which are in alignment with the teachings of Jesus. Okay, like I'm not even a Christian, but it doesn't take a Christian to understand that fact. Okay,
He
like
never
all
asked
throughout
God
the
for
Bible.
forgiveness.
Like feed the poor, give to those that are more needy than you are. You'll be given great glory in the kingdom of God. Made Matthew quit his job as a tax collector before Matthew could follow him as an apostle. But then what do we see from Trump? Policy that reduces the after-tax income of 80% of Americans, and regressively so, impacting you more negatively the less money you make. Like obviously, like the rapist 34-count felon that supports a policy I just named, and said in 2018 that he's never had to ask God for forgiveness a day in his life. It does not uphold Christian teachings.
Again,
Player
upholding
four. Can
Christianity
you wait?
and being
Player
Christian are two
player
separate.
four. Player
You
four.
know that.
I have a question. Do you think that you can be Christian while also not repenting?
No.
No. Okay. Well, Donald Trump never asked God for forgiveness. So
Okay,
he
again,
can't be
upholding
Christian.
Christian morals and being a Christian.
But he
are
doesn't
two
uphold
separate
Christian
things.
morals. I just explained to you exactly how.
But no, because he's actually given Christians a lot of freedom, and even upheld a Christian office within the White House.
Player four. You literally just said that you cannot be Christian if you do not repent. A very important aspect of repenting is asking God for forgiveness. Okay. So
I never said he
if
wasn't
God has
Christian.
never done that, well then you can't argue he's Christian.
I didn't. That was not my argument.
Oh, okay.
My argument is that he
Wait.
allows
So
Christians.
I just want to clarify. Like you're saying that having like a Christian like house in the federal government is more important to you than ensuring that we are not going to cut the after-tax income for 80% of Americans.
I had said nothing about taxation.
Well, we're looking at the trade-on and trade-offs. Like I'll give it to you, man. He certainly talks more extrovertedly about how good Christianity is and how much he loves Jesus than Kamala Harris did in running. But the difference is that he didn't actually apply Christian values in his campaign, in his policy. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris did. I mean, even like the current Pope, Pope Leo the 14th, you go to his Twitter feed, what is one of the first things you see? A whole article he wrote about how J.D. Vance has it wrong, right? Like Christian
JD
leaders
has what wrong?
across the globe condemn their treatment of immigrants. Across the globe, they condemn their treatment of low-income Americans. Across the globe, they recognize that this administration is not upholding and or adhering to
They are
Christian
not
values,
Americans.
but they're Christians. Okay?
No, they're
And
not.
you don't think that the Pope of the Catholic Church is a Christian?
I don't believe that he speaks for American Christians and what American Christians should do to illegal foreigners.
Right, because he doesn't speak for any particular group of people, because he speaks for the universal
What did
church
Jesus
of
say?
Jesus, right? He doesn't
what
speak
did
for one
Jesus say?
demographic of individuals. He speaks for all people, right? And I think when the Pope makes a very compelling statement, speaking for all people about how it is the case that they have it wrong and they're not adhering to and or applying Christian testimony in Scripture, I think that's meaningful. Also, it deserved to be pointed out that he's literally an American himself.
I understand that, but first of all, I keep getting muted. Second of all, I actually wanted to go back towards the conversation that me and Parker had a couple of days ago, which was actually revolved around you, Dean.
Okay, so pivot and ignore everything I just said. Okay, that's fair. What do you want
No,
to talk
it's not a pivot and ignore. I just think that whether or not a pope that talks about what we're doing with what the executive branch does under their authority is kind of I don't see it.
The reason
as
why the Pope is relevant is because the
authoritative.
Pope has it's not supposed to be, it's not authoritative because he's a Pope. I view it
Okay, so
as a
then why
sense
do
of
we care?
authority because he's just merely like mirroring and disseminating the teachings of the Scripture. right? And I was able to point out why it is the case that the Pope has discredited the administration by pointing towards specific teachings of the Scripture in which the Trump J.D. Vance administration has severely undermined and ignored.
Well, the scripture specifically tells us to adhere to the laws of our land, which the people that God puts in charge, that sets forth the laws we're supposed to adhere to. And the fact that the people that come into our country without
Do you
a
think, so
legal
you think
route,
that God determines the people in power, right?
I didn't get to finish my sentence, so I don't really have to answer that. I'm saying
Let's make the argument. I'll hear you out.
the fact that we have laws here on this earth and that God has established authority in this land, that people are supposed to abide by that, and people that come here illegally aren't.
Okay.
What's the problem with that?
So you're basically saying that God says adhere to laws and undocumented immigrants don't adhere to laws, so it's okay to hate them.
They can't.
Right.
It's impossible because
What?
they're here illegally.
Wait, no. So
You can't do
laws,
that in any other country.
Laws apply to everybody in the country, regardless of their immigration status.
I understand that, but
So
how
what
could
do you
they
say?
say? How could you say they're a law-abiding citizen if they're here illegally? That's
Donald
impossible.
Trump's not a law-abiding
Well,
citizen.
that's what I was just going to get around to. Like, if you just wanted adherence to laws, you uphold the criminal justice system, and you think it's very important to listen to laws. And in fact, you think it's so important that it justifies deporting millions of individuals, even if it decreases GDP growth by $300 billion per year. Decreases.
I think any other country
Would you allow
would
me
do
to
it.
finish speaking?
Yeah.
You don't think that we should do what every other country would do. For instance, every other developed country on the face of this planet has universal health care, yet the GOP platform consistently rejects that, including Donald Trump's own administration, and you support them. But what I wanted to say is if you put a grave precedence on an adherence to law, how can you support a president that has committed 34 felonies, breaking the law, that has raped a woman and then was held civilly liable for it, broke the law, that called for the termination of the
Yeah, but he wasn't
American
held criminally.
Constitution, which
He was not held criminally.
which is of the highest importance insofar as American law, and has pardoned people for trying to beat up and kill cops by driving stun guns into their necks, then called them patriots like DJ Rodriguez. Okay, he doesn't give a fuck about the laws. So why do you?
So are you asking me or are you telling me?
So I'm telling you these things, but then I'm asking
Oh, so
you.
you're not asking me. Okay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
no, I was
Bro,
telling you those things
listen.
as facts, but then I was merely asking you if he doesn't give a fuck about the law. Why do you?
Well, first of all, Joe Biden just pardoned hundreds of people before he left. Even people he said he specifically
None of them were
would
violent
not pardon.
offenders.
Yeah, remember, for all the Trump supporters watching the stream right now.
How could they
if
be
you-
offenders if he
one
was?
second. Remember, for all of the Trump supporters watching the stream right now.
No, cut me off. I can't cut you off.
You interrupted me. Okay, I was speaking before you started.
And I
speaking.
stopped.
So for all the Trump supporters watching the stream right now, just remember that if you come up here to have a debate with me and Parker about why you support Trump, and we give you an argument that you can't respond to, just say something about Biden.
Okay, great. Now, going back to what me and Parker were talking about yesterday.
Oh, so
was
just
that-
completely going away from the argument that I just gave you and the questions in which I asked you. This is now the second time that you've tried to pivot and run away from
Okay,
the things that
go
I've
ahead.
said.
What's your argument? You kept saying that you're just telling me. You're not asking me. So that's not an argument.
So I
You're
told
just
you, I
telling me.
told you the facts, and then I asked you about those facts. The facts that
You
I shared-
didn't. You just said you told me. You're not asking me. That's what your statement was.
I was explicitly clear in my question. Once again, I was asking you if Donald Trump doesn't care about the laws, why do you?
Okay, again, Biden just pardoned
Biden,
a bunch of people. No, we have to. I mean, we have to compare what he's doing to the last presidency. I think
Okay.
that's pretty reasonable.
I mean, I don't see the reason for it, but I'll entertain.
Oh,
it
okay.
nonetheless.
So then you don't see. I can't explain.
I know.
I mean, we're not
I said
looking
you
at
can.
past-
You can explain. I'll entertain it nonetheless. Feel free to continue speaking.
So, again, he wasn't held criminally liable for that. So the burden is way lower.
Liable for grape. Okay. So what about
So-
the calling for the termination of the
Wait,
Constitution?
wait. No,
and
let's start
infringing upon
right
the
there. Do you
Constitution
agree
5
that
times?
civil liability is the burden's a lot lower than criminal liability? Do you
Yeah,
believe
so the
that?
burden of proof in a civil court is lower than that of a criminal court. However, in this specific case, it is the case that I do believe he was proved to the same standard in which is true of criminal courts.
It can't
alongside
be.
Yes, it can.
No, it's not. It's not the same court.
So what is the standard of evidence in a civil court?
Preponderance of evidence.
And what is a preponderance of evidence?
It's just more likely than not. 51%. Not even that.
No,
50.01%.
you've actually got it wrong. It's
Actually, no.
It's anything above 50.01% or 50.01%. So it can
That's
be the case.
about the
that some-
same. That's almost exactly what I just said. I don't know how that's
No, because what is a percentage that's above 50.01%? 99. Okay, is 99% the same as 50.01? No. All right. So the reason why it is the case that it could have been proved beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt, even if it wasn't a civil fucking court, is because that is above the lower threshold in which must be met. Right. So I do believe in this particular civil court, it is the case that it was
Oh,
proved
so
beyond a
you don't
reasonable shadow
believe
of a
there's a
doubt.
difference?
Hmm?
You don't believe there's a difference between civil and criminal?
No, you're just not listening to what
No,
I'm
we
saying.
do. He just said that like there can be civil cases in which do meet the standard of beyond a reasonable doubt, even though the standard was preponderance of evidence, because preponderance of evidence, right, includes beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
Yes, but no,
I
no
wa-
jury instruction. No jury instruction is going to include that.
Yeah, the jury instruction didn't include this.
Okay, so the jury instruction only required beyond
Preponderance of evidence.
preponderance
That's
of
right.
evidence. So
That's
that's
so true.
all that was required to establish.
Yep.
So it is much lower than criminal. So you can't say he's criminally liable for that.
No
can
one
you?
said that.
No one said that.
Okay. Well, you did say that he was,
I mean,
you know.
so criminal courts don't even like determine liability. They determine like criminal responsibility. So like criminal liability, that's not even a phrase. But nonetheless, I mean, we could continue to talk about that. I'd love to have a fleshed out conversation with you. But I mean, I would more so like to get your take on things that you can't try to even argue your way out of, such as him explicitly calling for the termination of the Constitution, or like violating people's constitutional rights in America, like when he illegally deported Abrigo Garcia. Then having SCOTUS rule that he broke the law, and he's just like, I don't care. Or like when he like pardoned DJ Rodriguez, who tried to fucking kill a cop and then called him a patriot.
Yeah, I don't know all about that. I mean, now that he's president, I've kind of been like away from politics because I've been focusing on school, so I can't really say what's been going on during his administration.
Okay, well, I just told
But-
you, like, and like, even when he explicitly called for the termination of the Constitution, that was in December of 2022.
Yeah, again, you can tell me whatever
Right?
you want.
And then even about like SCOTUS ruling that he like illegally deported Abrigo Garcia and violated the constitutional rights. I mean, like, here's a literal fucking screenshot of that SCOTUS ruling, April 10th. Go down into the middle of the first paragraph. The United States represents that the removal to El Salvador was a result of an administrative error, and they ruled that it was therefore illegal. And that's a 9-0 ruling from SCOTUS. I mean, like, the things that I'm telling you can't be contested. So why do you, as a man of law and order, support a man of crime and disorder?
I mean, we could say the same thing about Kamala Harris, not
Kamala.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and tell me how you could say the same thing about the lawyer.
because apparently she has convicted people that were innocent and didn't allow evidence to come into evidence.
Okay, well, that's a lie.
Or I'm just telling you what the people claim.
Yeah,
The
what people?
victims claim.
Yeah, what victims? Could you tell me their names?
I can't tell you their names now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense because it's a lie.
I mean, if you want to call the victims a liar, that's fine.
I mean, who are the victims?
I have no
Do
idea.
you, do you say E. Jean Carroll's a liar?
100%, yes.
Yeah. So why so? Why is she a liar?
Just because she hasn't provided any DNA evidence, she didn't do it then.
She on a dress DNA that Donald Trump wouldn't give up to be able to be tested.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna
actually,
go
she
use
did
the
give it
restroom.
up.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so she had DNA evidence.
Yes.
Okay, and was it submitted to the court?
Yes.
Okay. And what did it show?
It wasn't able to be tested because Donald Trump didn't give up his DNA within the allotted time.
Okay. So they didn't have a match.
So Donald Trump didn't allow for it to get tested. Why didn't he give up his DNA if he never met her?
He said he did meet her.
He said no. He said he never met her.
That's not true.
That is true.
No, I watched this whole deposition. He said he met her. He just didn't. He might have taken a picture with her, and that's about it. But he said he met her.
The picture is after he said that they never met. The picture showed that they did meet, and he also said that he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote unquote not his type. But then in a deposition, mistook her with his ex-wife,
Yeah, he did. I did see that.
indicating
as well.
that they're either both his type or both not his type.
Yeah,
that's actually what
which,
happened
I
in the
mean, they're
deposition.
divorced now, so
So
it kind of indicates more that it's not his type. But whatever.
really, you marry someone that's not your type?
Well, you divorce somebody that's not your type.
You understand that like you were with them in the first place.
Yeah.
So even if it was the case they were considered not your type, you still got with someone who's not your type. Dean, is your mullet almost back?
Yeah, no, it is, man.
I kind of saw a little bit.
So I listen. I'm just coming back into this. Feel free to finish off your argument with him. Then I
No,
ask
well,
him another
actually, I
question.
really wanted to talk about you and Charlie Kirk. That's really why I wanted to get on here.
Dear God. Okay. What do you have to say about me and Charlie Kirk?
Do you think that it's possible that he doesn't want to debate you because of your demeanor?
Because of my demeanor.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't he the one that like said very publicly that he doesn't think it's rape to have sex with a very drunk woman? So I mean,
Okay,
I'm not sure if it's an issue of demeanor. He seems to be very accepting of just about anything.
So is this an example of pivoting or no?
No, is an explanation of how he's accepting of like any and all attitudes, actions, beliefs, and so on.
That's
So I don't
not
know if there's any
logical.
fact of my character that would
That's not logical. I'm talking about specifically the way that you
debate me
debate.
because of my demeanor.
Yeah, just the fact that when you do get a shot at being on, big channels and big stuff, you kind of blow it by treating people badly.
The only time he talked to Charlie, he was incredibly nice to him.
Wait. Yeah,
Rudely
yes, I
interrupting is
was.
not incredibly nice.
I didn't rudely interrupt him once. He even said,
Absolutely, you did.
"Play the clip. I'll give you $10,000."
Play the clip?
And I'll give you $10,000.
All right, can you give me a day?
No,
Why not? I don't have the clip with
you
me.
can't play it right now.
You think I have clips on me?
Yeah, I mean, I have clips on me. Like, I could play you a clip where he calls me very intellectually honest and says that he'd love to talk to me again.
Yeah, he would. But do you think that right now? I know you're complaining that he hasn't, and he's all afraid of you.
Like, no, I'm talking about
Lewis, thank you for $10.
You just made the claim that the first time I debated him, I was very rude and he interrupted me. No, so
No, I said the last time you were with him, I think it was on the Jubilee, that you were very hostile and you did interrupt him many times.
That's not true at all. He went on a podcast after our Jubilee debate and he said that I was an incredibly nice, intellectually honest, and smart person.
Okay, well, I'll show you the clip. Can you give me like what, 20, 30 minutes?
Why do you need 20, 30 minutes? Here, how about this?
Because you offered 10 grand.
I'm gonna play you a clip. I'm gonna play you a clip of Charlie Kirk talking about how much he likes me. And keep in mind, this podcast was a week after that Jubilee debate.
I'm not even talking about that now. I'm talking about the 10 G's you're throwing down, buddy.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you 10 grand if you could play a clip literally right now.
Okay, well, let me get it.
A clip right now of him interrupting.
Yeah, very rudely interrupting Charlie Kirk. Very rudely. You know, after the debate that I had with Kirk, he actually tried to shake my hand and told me that I made a very good point. One of the best points he's ever heard. And then here's Kirk talking about me and the conversation that he had with me on Jubilee. For a second debate, I find it funny that you've changed your mind. Let's go ahead and play the clip from that podcast.
Very smart kid. I actually think Dean is more likely to one day become more conservative because he's intellectually honest.
Would you ever be open to sitting down with him again and speaking to him?
Dean, for sure. I think he's on a journey of intellectual discovery.
Listen, Charles, I understand that. I mean,
Listen, Charles.
So that was his takeaway of our debate. That was his takeaway. His takeaway from our debate on Jubilee is that he thinks I'm like so smart that one day I'm going to be just like him. Don't know. But oh my God, Allie, thank you so much for the $100 over on Venmo. Oh my God, Allie, let's get 1,000 Allies down below in that chat. Allie says, I just love the way you unapologetically fight for those who can't always speak up for themselves. Keep on doing what you're doing. Allie, that is so incredibly kind of you. If we could all please show some love to Allie down below in that comment section right now, that'd be very incredibly kind. Thank you so much for the love, Allie. And also, while this guy's looking for a clip, we're going to move on. We're going to go to get another guest up here.
Can I say thank you to someone real quick?
Of course.
Philby, thank you so much for the $50 super sticker on YouTube. Thank you so much, Philby. I really appreciate it. Get some W's for Philby in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. As well as Harrison, think of the $5. Stella, think of the $5. And Coral, think of the $5.
So yeah, we're going to go to get another Trump supporter up on the live. Let us know in that comment section if you'd like to come up and debate. Then also, if you want to support me, want to support Parker in both of our bios, you can find our link trees where we have our Venmos and PayPals. Get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms. And that's if you're watching on TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube and you'd like to support, my Venmo, my PayPal are in the pin message. Also, I'd like to thank YachtZ for the $10 over on the YouTube Super Chat, saying, I always learn from you guys. That is incredibly kind. Thank you so much for the love. That is an interesting name. Rochelle, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat as well. Thank you so much. And then Yahtzee with another $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I'm so used to associating that word with like Nazi because that's how we got to censor it on TikTok. But I gotta keep in mind like Yahtzee's an actual word, not just TikTok Lite's version of the word Nazi. We're gonna move on to the next guest as well as everybody just give us a minute while we get that next Trump supporter up in here. to have a conversation with us while player 4 is looking for a clip of something that doesn't exist, quite frankly.
It quite frankly will never be found.
It's it was very kind and respectful to him when we had to sit down. I've been pretty kind and respectful in all my Jubilee appearances, actually. Okay.
All right, let's try to get some people. Make sure to like the stream, everyone. It helps get it out to more people.
Yeah, everybody, go ahead and drop a mega down below in that chat if you do want to come up. I might even leave the live on my second phone real quick so I can mod you so you can help me out.
Nice.
Everyone, just kind of give us a minute. Looking for that next Trump supporter. There's 6.1 thousand people in here, and for whatever reason, there's not a single Trump supporter. Kara with the $20 over on Super Chat saying, so proud of you young people getting out here with facts and truth. Love it. Thank you, Kara. That's CARA. It's very kind of you. Very kind of you. Where are the Trump supporters? Okay, where the fuck are they? Because they're not in the queue. Let me tell you that much. They're not in the queue. Okay, both Brandon and Toaster, both spamming MAGA down below in the comment section.
I love you, Dean.
Okay, the one was a fetus saying that they love us. The other was a fetus like whispering about dicks. I think I don't know. We're gonna kick them both. Okay, so are those truly the people that are spamming MAGA in the comment section? Is people like that? Like
Yes.
Just children. I don't know. Sid. Oh my God, Sid. Thank you for the $100 super
I don't
chat
like black people.
over on the YouTube stream.
W's Sid in the chat. W's for Sid.
Sorry that me thinking you're done got interrupted by an incel. But thank you so much for the love, Sid. That is incredibly kind. Let's get 1,000 Sid W's down below in that chat. While we try to find like one Trump supporter, right? Like you'd expect that we'd be able to find one.
Holy shit, Philby, thank you for the $50 super sticker again on YouTube. Thank you so much, Philby. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Put some W's for Philby in the comment section right now, as well as Caleb. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much.
Hey, okay. Go ahead and go back to spamming MAGA down below in that chat if you want to join, I guess. Still trying to find anybody. Like literally fucking anybody.
Dean, I admit you did not interrupt abruptly or rudely to Charlie Kirk. That was only Parker.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, did you like mistake us?
Yes, it was. Yes, I did.
That's really
All
funny.
right, so I appreciate that.
I did do that, and that's just like literally the reality of the world is that in those short form conversations is that it makes most sense to do that, I think. But if you would like to have a long form conversation where we don't cut each other off at all with a moderator, I've told them I've been willing to do that for the past year and a half.
But yeah,
I understand.
It was player 4.
Or
Thanks
year.
for admitting that
About
you were
year.
wrong.
Half a year.
Jeremiah, what's up? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't know how I got up here. I think I accidentally hit it when I was liking the.
No worries, bro. Appreciate
You're
you
good,
for
you're
liking the
good.
stream. Holy fuck! Where are the Trump supporters at? I'm gonna lose my mind. It is a Monday evening. I don't even know what day of the fucking week it is. I'm so delusional. And I guess all the Trump supporters are like, or what? Like out of the bar or something? I don't know. Jeremy, what's up? Do you support Trump?
How's it going, Dean? I'm British.
Okay.
Don't know if that's a problem.
It is. Hi, Scabby. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Great question. Yes.
Out of the live. Goodbye.
If they say that, they're definitely below 18.
Yep. I guess there's no Trump supporters. Like, realistically, chat, what do we do at this point? When like there's just 6K people in here, but like everyone's just terrified of debating. I don't know.
I could ask you your thoughts about you can speak about in front of a bunch of people your thoughts about the Jordan Peterson debate.
Yeah, he got cooked. In a nutshell, that's it. I don't even know if much else is required. Dude lost. Dude looked terrible. I guess he's not even a Christian. Who knows? What's up, Wolf?
You're so sexy. I could lick you up.
Mods ban him. Fucking hell. Okay. It's Memorial Day. They're all celebrating their country and Trump's dumb commercial. Oh, you're right. It is Memorial Day. Yeah, you're right. They're like, I don't know. What are they doing? How are they celebrating Memorial Day? Talking about how much they hate liberals? Is that what they're doing? That's what Trump's doing.
Tris, thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Tris. And then Charles, thank you for the 10 pounds. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For Parker, indeed, love you both.
Hey, Debbie.
I'm amazed that you both managed to stay so calm. Please keep fighting the title of ignorance. Thank you.
Hey, Debbie, are you MAGA?
Thursday.
Debbie's not even here.
Literally focused on something else.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Yo, Ryan, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Same thing with you, Sammy. Thank you for the $5. And Sally, oh my God, what the hell is going on tonight? Sally, thank you for the $100 donation over on Venmo. Jesus Christ, Sally. Sally says, keep dunking on these clowns, Sally. I'm gonna dunk on this next clown just for you. Let's get 1,000 Sally W's down below in the comment section. LFG based Sally. Tina, what's going on? Are you MAGA? Fucking great. Okay, we're gonna purge the queue, everybody. We're gonna purge the queue. Only join the queue if you are MAGA and you support Trump, okay? I want to make that so fucking incredibly clear. I do not want liberals in the queue. I do not want fetuses in the queue. I do not want non-Americans in the queue. I only want people that are at least 18 years old, that are present, that are here, that support Trump to join the queue, okay? We have an insane amount of people that fall outside of those rules that join the queue, and you guys suck a lot. And I'm gonna start banning everybody that requests to join the live that falls outside of those rules.
You will get banned.
Yeah.
Everyone on YouTube, do make sure to like the stream. It helps get it out to more people. I think right now we currently have 1,000 likes. Let's try to get to 1.5 thousand. Everyone, I'd really appreciate it.
Remember me, Parker?
Woke Wireless, what's up? How old are you?
19.
19. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why would you support such a terrible president? Train wreck of an administration.
Because I'm spiteful.
Why are you spiteful?
I just am.
Okay, so do you have like an argument?
Oh, have I talked to this person before? Woke Wireless?
Yeah, because fuck your MAGA mobile.
Okay, I don't think they're here to give a argument. So we're gonna go ahead and just move on to the next guest, everyone. Oh, it's Marcus. He's back in. I kicked him before.
Cookie Mongs you! Cookie Mongs you!
Oh God, go get a life. Fucking hell. Moving on to the next guest trip, y'all.
Field, thank you for the $10.
Well,
thank you so
hello.
much. And Ken, thank
Hello,
you for the
Dean.
$25. Thank you so much, Ken. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Trip.
Dean, hello.
Trip, are
What's
you
good,
MAGA?
man? I sure am.
How old are you?
I am 19. I'm a sophomore in community college right now.
Nice. So why do you support such a terrible president? Take it away.
So I would like to say that he has like an America First policy. That's like kind of like the main thing. Like that's what I really like.
Really?
What
Okay.
America First policy?
So like the way he's handled immigration, and yeah.
Okay, what about it? Like, name a single policy about immigration that was America First. what was that? What was the point of that? Like, what was that? Like an extended troll? That's the first time I've heard them try to make an argument before doing something like that. Dude, what is that? A humiliation ritual?
Oh, bro, that was like a fucking cartoon gulp. What's up, Rocky?
Hey, boy.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Oh God, Rocky, why, dude?
Better than an alcoholic.
Better than an alcoholic. Let me guess. You're calling Kamala Harris an alcoholic because of a picture of her sitting on the ground playing a game with her niece with a glass of wine. So if one glass of wine can make you an alcoholic,
No,
that's not what you're saying. Okay, then why do you think Kamala Harris is an alcoholic? I gotta unmute your mic, Rocky.
I'm an elevator.
Rocky, unmute your mic.
Rocky, are you an elevator?
My bad.
So, why do you think Kamala Harris is an alcoholic?
Well, I grew up in the 80s.
Right.
And the 90s.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
As far as people on drugs and people that drink.
Mm-hmm.
And, every interview she went to, she had that were important interviews. You're laughing at some point in time. That's one symptom of an alcoholic. Because you don't laugh at serious questions.
Oh my God! Oh my God! This guy seriously thinks that a woman's laugh. Wait. Just allow me to finish speaking, guys. I really just want to be able to finish speaking here. This guy seriously thinks. 1 second. This guy seriously thinks that a woman's laugh is worse than fascism.
At serious questions.
This guy seriously thinks that a woman's laugh is worse than the largest internal attack on the American democracy since the Civil War.
No,
that a
he
woman's
thinks a woman laughing is a symptom of alcoholism.
That's one. That's one.
Dude,
And the way you talk.
Rocky,
And the way
stop.
you talk.
Stop,
Dude.
bro.
Dude, did you grow up in the 80s? Did you party?
Yes, dude, I grew up in the
I did?
80s.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You're
What
a
are you
wimp.
talking about?
You're a wimp, dude. You wouldn't have made it through the 80s, dude.
I
You're
did
a
grow up in the
candy
80s.
ass.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
sorry. But
I grew up in the 80s. What are you talking about?
Have you done 25 push-ups yet?
Have you done 50?
No, I was talking to
No,
Dean.
that's what I thought.
Oh, you're talking.
I was talking to Dean.
Wait, you're talking
Can
to
you
me?
do 25 push-ups?
Are you serious?
Can you do 25 push-ups?
Yeah, I can do.
Because the
25
last time I
push-ups.
saw y'all trying to do it, you did the little girl thing. Oh, I hurt
Rocky,
my finger.
Wait, you
girl
saw.
thing?
Wait, 1
You
second. No,
fucking
no.
weirdo.
Okay,
Just
I didn't
let
see
me-
what happened
let
afterwards.
Let me speak real quick.
I didn't see you do it right then and there.
Okay, so you're saying that last time you saw me doing push-ups, you like saw me hurt myself?
Yeah, you hurt your finger or something. Ow, you like a little sissy.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
hey, we're
he's
gonna
just a fucking misogynist.
we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about those very demeaning comments. But first, I want to show you this. Do you see that? Do you know what that is? That's a scar. Do you know where I got that scar from?
No.
Having a fucking inch piece of glass go into my hand doing push-ups. So when you saw that live, when I hurt myself doing
Oh
push-ups,
my god, I remember that.
yeah,
live.
like I have like I'm like my hand is like permanently fucking.
Are you
disfigured because of
serious?
it. Yeah, no, an inch
Dude,
piece of
no
glass
way.
went into my hand, and even like the muscle around it is all fucked up. It tore the muscle up. I can't
poor
hold
baby.
more than like 50 pounds in this hand anymore. So
Well,
I'll have you know that shit hurt. Okay,
That's so fucked, Dean.
Well, you know.
I remember
Yeah, if you're a
the
girl, it's
day
gonna
of
hurt,
that
yeah.
happening, dude. I
You're a
remember
little
that
girl,
live.
it's gonna hurt.
okay. What's this shit about being a little girl? I have a question.
Yeah,
So
why don't you tough it, suck it up and just do it then.
oh my god,
That's
yeah!
actually a really
go
deep
go
scar.
take your fucking fists and pound them into gravel, hot coals, and broken glass. And you know what? If you don't
You ever
sit
heard of
back
a
and say,
Band-Aid?
If you don't do that,
I
you're not a
love
man.
it. You know what? Honestly, if you don't work 72 hours a day and the hands you're eating your lunch with aren't just dirty with bacteria and
43
grime
years
since before
of paying taxes.
Jesus was born, guess what? You know, you're just a
43
little
years,
sissy,
dude.
right?
Shut up.
You're literally a meme. You
You're
shut
a
the fuck
child,
up.
man. You're nothing but a child.
Oh,
man.
if you think that a 20-year-old is a
That's
child, then this
all.
means that you think that Donald Trump wanted to date a child because he told a 10-year-old girl
Yes.
that he'd be dating her in 10 years.
Yeah, you fucking weirdo. Because literally,
Y'all keep
Dean,
going back. Y'all back in history. You're the History Channel, so just shut up, man.
What? What are you talking? Wait, can you respond to that point? Can you respond? You called him a child. Why do you call men who are 20 years old children to like demean what they say to you? But then at the same
No.
time, you say that like women who are 20 years old are
Because
so old that they can date Donald Trump as a 50-year-old.
You know nothing about life.
Hey,
You
Rocky,
hadn't been there.
let's
and done
get it
that.
straight. I'd mog you.
Every dog has his day, and y'all haven't had your day
What?
yet, and you
What
probably
does that
never
even
will.
mean? What does that even mean?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You're too
What do
freaking
you
young.
mean
You
by
don't know
every
yet.
dog has his day? What the fuck does that mean? Please explain.
It's just an old saying.
Can you explain? Or is your brain not function properly?
I got a bigger brain than you do, boy.
Can you explain it then?
Okay, when you just have when you have a bad day, you I don't know, you break your leg at work, you get your finger cut off, you get you lose your job. After 9/11, I worked for the airlines. And
People are more likely to have lost their job now because the GDP decreased under Donald Trump's administration because of his horrific policy.
I was
Horrific.
talking about certain ways that you have your day. You bust your ass for a company, and because of 9/11, you lose. You have to get displaced. Do you know what displaced means from a job?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I've been through that. I worked for Delta Airlines. I busted my ass for 10 years, and never, it just went to shits after that. So you had to get displaced to save your job.
Hey,
That was, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody.
can I just take the mic real quick?
When you took pride in your job and you worked hard outside in the cold, in the rain, and
Should I bill you
sorry.
after? Should I bill you after this?
Can I talk?
I'm just saying that's just one example.
Rocky,
Okay,
can I talk real quick?
go ahead, Mom.
Thank you. Okay, listen. You're doing the thing where you try to attack me, attack Parker because of various aspects of ourselves, rather it's the age or the reaction I gave when I fucking permanently disfigured my hand from a 1-inch piece of glass finding its way into my wrist. Now, all of this just goes to a very sad, sour attempt for you to refute the things that we say without logically engaging in a nuanced debate about them. Okay? Like, all that you're basically saying is that, well, Dean says a lot of things that I don't disagree with. Like, Dean says that Trump sucks. Dean says Trump's a fascist. Dean says that his economic policy is shit. Dean says that Kamala Harris was significantly better for America. And I actually can't combat any of Dean's arguments because they're sound. Okay, you don't have any counter arguments. So instead, you say, "I'm going to try to dispute Dean's character, call him weak, and call him a little boy and whatnot."
Well,
So
those are
I can
facts.
merely just rub off the things that he's saying. No, the fact is that the only weak-minded person in this room is you, Rocky. I don't care if you've been around the sun 2 times as much as I have. All right. I don't think that maturity is geographically centered. Okay. I think that maturity has a lot more to do with the way that you've spent the time you've lived going around the sun compared to how many times you've been around the sun. I understand that you're older than me. Okay. But I don't think I'm wise beyond my years. I think that you're wise behind your years. Right. I think that you've probably spent most of your life doing this self-loathing bullshit. The self-loving bullshit of basically just hating on everybody else that contests what you have to say. Oh, this guy disagrees. It's an attack on my ego. Therefore, he's weak and I don't care. Let's try to be a functioning, productive member of society and engage in a good faith conversation about what the best direction for America
I've been in the
is.
real world. I've been out there, and I know what it's like. Y'all don't know jack shit.
What real world are you referencing? Like, do you
Like
think
working for a
do
living.
you think Dean and I are
Like
virtual
busting your
characters?
ass for a
I'm
living.
sorry, Rocky. Do you think Dean and I are virtual? Do you think Dean and I are virtual characters? Like, we're not real
No.
people in the real world? Like, I'm
could
sorry.
you-
What real world are you fucking referencing?
Hey, John, thank you for the $5 on PayPal, and Coral, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you, John and Coral. I appreciate that, John and Coral.
Y'all call us uneducated people, but some of us have skills, and that's just as good as
Okay,
education.
everyone has their different skills. What are your skills then?
Yeah, well, I work for the airlines. I know how to
That's great, and I would probably trust you within your skill set.
take it off. That takes skills.
Yeah, we'd probably trust you within your skill set. So, but like, this
There
is
you
not
go.
your skill set.
That's what I've done in the past, and I've been out there and I've done it.
Are you? I can't click on your account, but are you following young people?
Oh God, here we go. Yeah, a lot of women in their 20s and 30s. Some of them look pretty young, but
How
you'd
old
be
are you?
surprised. 56.
You're 56. Do you think it's okay for you as a 56-year-old man to like try to date like say an 18-year-old?
No.
No.
But most of
What
them
about a
most of them-
20-year-old? What about a 20-year-old?
And a 20-year-old's fine because
You think you as a 56-year-old man it's okay to date a 20-year-old?
Rocky, you were just telling
No,
me.
I probably wouldn't, but they're
Rocky,
just they
But no,
follow.
is it okay though?
Sometimes I don't follow them.
Is it okay though?
Nah, because we're two different generations. They're not gonna like the same music.
So you agree it's wrong, right?
They're not gonna like movies that I like. But I pick some of them because they're into music. They're into heavy metal,
Rocky.
rock and roll.
So you pick some of them? What?
Because they're into the same things. They're into the same music.
What do you mean you pick some of them? What does that even mean? Are you saying
What
it's
do you
okay in
mean?
some Are you
I
saying it's
just
okay in
follow
some
them.
circumstances
I follow
for you
them
to?
because they're into music that I'm into the music. Some of them are in their 30s and they listen to the 80s music. So
Rocky?
I can follow whoever I want. You don't tell me what to do.
Is my mic on mute?
No, it's not.
Okay, Rocky.
So
you called me a child because I'm 20 years old, but now
Well,
you're telling
I'm
me,
just saying.
oh my
I'm just
God.
saying.
Okay,
Just
okay.
the way
if
you
you're gonna
talk to
call
people-
me, dude, if you're gonna
No,
if
the
you're
way
gonna-
you talk to people
and
that
now
you've
you're
done
on
in the
mute.
past.
You called me a child because I'm 20, but then you turn around and you say that 20-year-old women aren't children. In fact, they're mature enough for you to have sex with.
Did I?
Fucking hell.
Did I say that word? I didn't say that word.
No, they're just mature enough for you
I
to look
said they
at.
like the same music, and I follow them.
They're mature enough for you
You
to look at.
understand what music
I
is?
mean, like,
Rock and roll, heavy
I
metal.
see somebody on like your following list that's 22, right? Like, you
listen.
understand that, like,
That makes you a wimp.
I'm under 2 years apart from them in age. If I'm a child, so are they. Like, would you say that my name is Rocky and I'm following children?
No, they're not children.
Okay, so then I'm not a child either.
Well, no, you're a wimp.
Why am I a wimp? Tell me. Be specific.
I would never follow somebody
Rocky,
like
be very
you.
specific. Why am I a wimp?
Well, I'm just saying, if we're road rage on the road and we run into each other,
Mallory, thank you so much.
Are you gonna get out of the car?
Appreciate you so
Are
much.
you gonna get out of the car? Huh? And confront me?
Would I get out of the car and confront you?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Well, there you go. There's the difference.
So if I'm not willing to get into random fights with old men on the side of the road, I'm a wimp. Is that really your standard?
Yeah, you wouldn't run into me.
Like, would you
Rocky,
wait 1
Rocky.
second? I'm so sorry. I just want to continue to speak to you just for a second. I feel like I haven't been able to really say much in this conversation. So your standard of somebody being a wimp is if they'll like not just like randomly fight somebody standing on the side of the road. How about you like put me in a better position here? Okay, like you're coming at me. Okay, you're trying to like hurt my family. Then when I confront you, I'm in sure. Okay, but I'm not just gonna like randomly fight men on the side of the road that I don't know for fun. What's the logic behind that? Like, is that something you do?
Well, that's that's.
So are you a wimp too?
That's a situation that would happen.
If that's not something you do, that means that you're a wimp too, right?
That's what y'all's candy ass
Well,
society.
I just want to clarify. Is that something you do? Would you fight some random fucking dude on the side of the road for no reason?
Because that's where I come from. I do skin on skin. I'm skin on
For
skin.
like no reason, just on like the side of the road. Like what's it like? Just like I need to assert my dominance. I'm gonna start swinging on random fucking dudes for no reason at all, regardless if it's on the side of the highway in a bar or my child's elementary school. Guess what? I see you,
Rocky,
I'm
you
gonna
should be in
beat you.
prison,
Come
like,
on,
dude.
yeah.
Like,
you're an actual
I'm sorry,
menace to
bro.
society.
Just do some push-ups
like,
right
dude,
now. Maybe I'll show a little.
Is this Trevor from GTA? Like, dude, who am I talking to?
Do some push-ups right now, and just do 25. Maybe I'll respect
If
you a
you
little
do
bit.
25 push-ups, I'll do 25 push-ups. If you turn your camera on and do 25, so will I.
I don't want to do that right now
Wimp.
because I know I can do it.
You're a wimp.
I'm asking you.
No, well, I know I can do it
I've been to
too.
the gym at least 300-400 times in the past 30 freaking years.
Wait, only
So-
400 times in the last 30 years? What is that? Once a month? Dude.
It's 3-hour workout.
That's not a flex. Wait,
3-hour workout.
Wait, you
When's
do
the last time
you do a once a month 3-hour workout?
Where's the
Oh
last
my god, bro! Holy shit!
When's the last time you worked out for 3 hours?
Never.
Every day, dude. I do 3 hours every day, bro.
I've never worked out for 3 hours. Okay.
I do that every day, bro. It's every day, bro.
That's my routine. I did.
And anybody that goes to the gym will tell you that working out for 3 hours a day is one of the worst things that you could ever possibly do to yourself. Okay.
Nah, dude, it's great.
Like daily,
every day, bro.
And then also, what do you think a 3-hour workout once a month does for you? Like, you understand that like the point of a workout, if it's not cardiovascular based, is going to be like basically you go in there, okay, you rip your muscles, so then they rebuild themselves and they're stronger, right? However, right, this is a process in which is it's a perpetual process in which you have to do on a very consistent basis in order to have long-term gains. So you can't tell me that you just go into the gym and work out for 3 hours and then all of a sudden you're set for the next 32 days.
No, it's 2 or 3 times a month, dude. It's a routine.
Probably, listen, man, I'm gonna give you some advice. If I were you, I'd try to go 3 times a week for lower intervals of maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, that's more realistic to fit into a schedule of having a full-time job. 3 times a week isn't too bad. And you'll definitely see a better outcome for yourself and your physical health, regardless if you're focused on your cardiovascular system or just.
I'm doing good right now, dude. I don't have diabetes.
I mean, I
pretty damn good.
just want to look out for you because I know that like the older you get, like the less dense your bones are.
You'll be there soon. You'll be there someday too. Well,
I know. That's why I want to look out for you. You know.
No, I don't need you. I don't need anything from you.
It's some good
Yeah.
advice. It's some good advice.
No, I'm just trying
Because
to.
like seriously, like consistently working out and like strength training can actually reduce the rate at which like your bone density goes down. Okay, it'll give you like denser bones the older you get. You get to stay healthy. It's great.
Well, let's see how you look when you get to 56. So,
Okay.
All right.
All right. So like you agree that like Donald Trump literally saying you would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, even if he was referencing a 20-year-old,
Oh my
was
God!
really fucked up, right?
Bring up that stupid.
Stupid? This is not stupid. This is like
Yes, it is stupid.
this is
Because
children.
see, your party is done. It's terminated. Okay, y'all have nothing.
I'm sorry.
And,
If,
and this is what
I mean,
you go
Rocky,
back to.
Rocky. If it is
This
the
is
case
what
that
you
you are
go
never
to.
willing to address any of the things that your candidate does is bad,
Right.
well then
Fight
yes,
back.
everything else is not going to be considered because you're a cult member and you won't consider any other negative impact of the person that you support, and you'll only consider the negative impacts of any other candidate to the like to the alternative or the who is opposing your cult candidate.
David Koresh was a cult, not Trump.
No, you're in a cult. You are
David
absolutely
Koresh.
in a
You
cult.
don't even know who David Koresh is.
What's your point?
Do you know what David Koresh was? Huh?
No.
Well, there you go.
Who is it?
You don't remember who David Koresh was in
Who
Texas?
is it? Who is it?
That cult member he was a church fanatic. He said he was a messiah.
Okay.
Waco, Texas.
I mean, he had probably just as much justification for his view as you.
Oh, I got to read off
absolutely nothing.
I got to read off a donation from
The
Beth. here.
government burned down his place in
Hey, guess what?
1993.
Hey, guess what? Beth has something to say to you. So Beth just donated me $50 fucking on Venmo just to say this to you. So hey, let's get 500 Beth W's down below in that chat. But let me read this off to you. So Beth says, "Growing up in the '80s doesn't make Rocky a mature, decent human being. He's gross, and I grew up in the '80s myself." Damn. So what do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about what Beth just
She's a
said to you?
liberal. That's what they're gonna say.
I mean, she grew up in the '80s. I mean, seemingly she'd have the same not beta perspective as you, and she's not 20 like us. She's in that same age range. Oh, then also Jay, thank you so much for the $100 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying D dude E easily A and N notoriously withers all right wing talking points, including Kirk, and that's not debatable. Jay, you should respond to that with an explanation because I don't know if I get it, but it's
I wish I could
possible
talk
that
about-
it's just me. But thank
I
you
wish
for
I
the
could-
$100 to everybody.
I
who
wish I
showed
could
some
talk
love
about
to Jay.
Biden, but shit, I don't want to.
Can I think so real quick? This is actually relevant. Policy, thank you so much for the $50 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the generation obsessed with the quote unquote real world is also the generation that is so easily scammed by fake profiles on Facebook. That's what Policy said. Thank you so
Astral,
much,
thank you
Policy,
for
for
the
the
galaxy.
$50. Philby, thank you for the $20. Coral, thank you for the $2. Tris, thank you for the $5. Thank you.
But
They asked
yeah-
if you lift, bro.
Yeah.
I was thinking back to that Brent Byers interview
One
on
second.
Fox.
1 second. Rocky Rough Knuckles. Can you tell us why you think Trump's a good president? Rocky Rough Knuckles.
Well, he's just trying to clean up the mess. And,
Well,
yeah,
okay.
Kamala,
What specifically?
Kamala wasn't going to try to do anything.
Kamala.
Make it better.
Rocky Rough
Except
Knuckles.
make
What's
it
your
better?
favorite? What's your favorite Trump policy so far?
Immigration. But I wanted
Which
to go
one?
back. No, I wanted
Which
to ask.
specific policy, Rocky?
I wanted to ask about the Brent
No,
Byers.
no, no,
interview.
Rocky. Which specific
No, I
policy?
want- Oh man, come on, man.
We just want to know which policy.
Rocky, you've been on the damn stream for 30 minutes and you haven't
Okay,
told us one reason why you think Trump's a good president. I think
Well, make deportations great again. That's a policy.
Deportations?
That's a great policy.
Deportations?
Oh, gosh.
Make
God.
education great again. It's
Make
deportation.
deportations great again. That's a great policy.
Okay. So Rocky, I have a question. What deportation policy do you support?
The ones that are to get rid of all the bad guys.
To get rid of all the bad guys in the country? So
How do
Donald
y'all-
Trump?
I mean, you already had two judges. Aiding and
So
abetting
Donald Trump. So you want to get rid of
a gang
Donald Trump?
member. They aided and abetted a gang member and one illegal. Two judges.
Okay. So
That's what y'all are about, man.
No one disagrees with deporting people, right? Given the condition that they're going to be put in a prison in another country, right? Like no one who's committed violent offenses or bad crimes, no one disputes that, right? Everyone's just questioning specifically whether or not we should have mass amnesty or mass deportation specifically for people who are non-violent and who have not committed bad crimes.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. No, but if you make a mistake, well, then people make mistakes. Government lies. Government makes mistakes. You have, friendly fire in wars. I mean,
What is that? What is this supposed to mean? I don't know what you're saying.
Do you know what friendly fire is?
I know what friendly fire is. How is that responding to what I was just saying?
It's just an example of, the shit happens. I mean, mistakes are made. It's like, shh. I mean, the cops show up to some people's houses and they get the wrong address and they break in there. Like that black lady. That was pretty sad. That rogue cop. You remember that video? It's pretty bad. She just goes to the kitchen and picks up a frying pan and, the cop just, man. I think that was the wrong address, or that was just I don't know. So many problems with the country.
What did I say?
I wish,
I just kicked him. We'll get on to another guest. Colliding, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I really appreciate you for that. And then I wanted to thank Jay one more time for the $100 over on the fucking YouTube Super Chat. That's insane. Thank you so much, Jay. That is incredibly kind of you. Then Lucas, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, my Venmo, my PayPal can be found in the link tree in my bio, as well as in the pinned message on the YouTube stream. Also, you guys, I'm going to be long for significantly shorter today than I usually am. I'm probably only going to do around another 30 minutes and I'm off for the night. I am...
Really?
Yeah, I'm really tired after traveling all day. Really fucking tired. I bet maybe a couple of you guys could tell that I'm a little bit more out of it than I usually am. And I'm scared if I go for the full 4 hours, by the end of it, I probably just won't want to stream tomorrow. So thinking about just doing a little bit of a more moderate stream tonight. So let's go and get that next guest up here. What's up, Owen? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
Like 14.
Thanks for being honest, Owen. But you got to be at least 18 to be on TikTok Live. We're going to move on to the next guest, guys. Let us know if you're MAGA down below. We'll pull you up. Let's get that next guest up in the box right now. Quite frankly, that's so true. So true. That's right. Okay, Trinity's loading in. It doesn't look like Trinity's going to connect, so we're going to try to pull up other people from the chat as well, including Kyla, spamming MAGA down below. So we got Kyla loading in. Kyla, hello, Kyla. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and how old are you?
I am 18.
Okay, are you from America?
Yeah, I am. I'm from Arizona.
Okay, all right. So why do you fucking support Trump? One of the worst presidents ever, by the way. Tell us why.
Okay, I'm also on here to gain an understanding just as well. So I'm open to have an opinion of to change my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But my main reason is about abortions, because I don't believe that women should be the only people that have the choice to abort. And I feel like if that is the case, then there should not be any abortions, because I'll give you an example. If a woman is with their partner and if a woman and a husband, a wife and a husband are having a baby and they've planned to have it, and 5 months into the pregnancy, the man has been looking forward, has had the idea of a whole lifetime ahead of them, and the woman just decides that they're going to abort the child.
Yeah.
How in any way, shape, or form is that fair on the man?
I can tell you. So it's actually it's unfair to the man. Okay? But since when did we let a man's emotions control the body of a woman? You know what I mean? Listen to me. Life's unfair. Reality's unfair. That's living. That's life, man. And at the end of the day, I'll concede and agree. If I was in that man's position, that would fucking suck. Oh my God, that would suck so much. I would bawl. I would cry for days. But guess what? Those emotions don't mean more than the woman's human rights, specifically the human right to actuate, one's right to bodily autonomy. And I don't think that a man's emotion is sufficient reason to dictate that she shouldn't be able to actuate on the basis of said right.
But in a way, it's both of their child. I know but it is both of their child.
Okay.
The same way that they would both have the same. Once the child is born, they will have the same rights to the child.
He said bodily autonomy. Bodily autonomy.
Let me ask you a question. Do you drive a car?
No, I don't.
Do you have a house?
Yes, but it's not I don't own the house.
Okay, let's assume you own the house. Would you be able to agree that a construction crew built and helped in building the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that any person on that construction crew should just have a right to come into your house and take food from your fridge whenever they want, since they helped build the house?
It's completely different.
What's different?
They helped build the house, but they do not own that house. The
Right.
whole point
Right,
is
right, right,
the whole
right.
point
Because
is though.
the process insofar as how consent was actuated. I mean, they consented to building the house, then you consented to owning the house. Let me ask you a question: when a woman and a man engage in intercourse, what is being consented to?
Huh?
When a woman and a man engage in intercourse, what is being consented to?
Like what is being consented?
Yeah. When a woman and a man engage in
Consenting to
intercourse,
having.
what is being consented to?
Well, they're consenting to having intercourse.
Thank you for proving my point. You're right. They're consenting to having intercourse. Okay. The woman is not consenting to possibly letting the man have a control and say so over her body for the next 9 months.
But my point is though, the point that you gave with the construction site and all of that stuff is that they like that child would not just be the woman's child. Once it's born, it would not just be I carried it in my body, it's my child, like I did. Like that's not how it works. They would both have the same responsibilities and both hold the same.
Yeah, once the child's
like
born, just not while
yeah,
the child is in the
exactly,
woman's body.
exactly. So
Because
once the
the
house is
woman's
made,
right
okay,
would trump the
wait,
man's
so
control over the
once the
fetus.
house is made, once the house is made, what legal like ownerships does the builders have over my house?
Okay, you know the answer to that question is none.
Exactly. So wait, answer me that. Was that a comparable source?
So the comparison between the analogy that I gave you to how pregnancy would occur is basically what you consent to when you're engaging in pregnancy, right? So when you consent to engage in sex with a man, you're consenting to just that, engaging in intercourse. You're not consenting to possibly giving that man control or say so over your body for the next 9 months, okay?
But that wasn't the point I gave you originally.
Okay,
My
can you
point
stop fucking interrupting me? I'm so sorry. I'm like, I've had a long day. You've interrupted me the last 3 times I've spoken, and it's just, oh my god, it annoys me so much. Can we just do it without the interruption?
Okay, I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit too tough, but it's really getting to me tonight. You know what I mean? Very tired, very tired. Okay, awesome. But anyways, let's get back to what I was saying. When a woman and a man consent to sex, they're doing exactly that. They're just consenting to sex. The woman is not consenting to possibly giving the man a control and say so over her body for the next 9 months. The moment a man's sperm leaves his body and enters into the body of the woman, he loses a right control and say so over what happens to that sperm for the next 9 months for one reason, okay? The fact that the fetus is completely and totally reliant upon that mother's bodily resources to live and exists inside of their uterus completely trumps any concern that the man could possibly have. Because if the man were to use, right, the fact that he aided and abetted in the conception of said fetus to make a decision about that fetus, rather it's preventing an abortion or inducing an abortion, guess what? He must first also necessarily have access and control and say-so over the woman's body as well, right? Because the fetus is dependent upon her body. Now, listen, in like this hypothetical universe where when conception occurred, the fetus just magically spawned into thin air, poofed, and was connected to both the woman's body and the man's body, well, then sure, both the man and the woman would have a control and say-so over that fetus. But because that's not reality, and reality is unfair, and it's just dependent upon the woman's body, well, therefore, it's only the woman's say-so, because giving the man any say-so would be giving the man say-so not just over the fetus, but also over her.
Okay, yes, but my point that I went to at the start though was that if it was a choice, so it wasn't. So if that they went from, what the hell are you doing?
Hitting my anxiety.
It's an anxiety pen.
Oh, sorry, I was so confused. But yeah, if at the start they planned to have a baby, and so they had intercourse for that reason, it would go against the fact that you said that she did consent technically to having a baby.
No, because consent is enthusiastic and ongoing. The logic you're giving me right now, unironically, also justifies rape. This is like a man engaging in intercourse with a woman, and then the woman revokes consent from said intercourse midway through, and then he keeps going because technically she gave consent when it started. Nope, bad logic. Boo. Thumbs
But it's a bit different.
It's not. What's the difference?
Well, it is because if you've, I can see where you're coming from in a way, but like, I don't know, it's a bit different.
How's it different?
Because It's the same as in like, yeah, it is just her taking consent back, but there's a difference from just a man having to just accept that like you're not going to continue intercourse at night, and you'll have to just like accept it, like it's not that big of a deal.
So
But
you
then
can't
to have,
articulate the difference.
but then to take away, think about it, like think, okay, do you have? This is a personal question, but do you have a girlfriend or anything?
Yep.
If you were planning to have a baby with your girlfriend, and then literally a month before she couldn't have an abortion anymore, she had an abortion.
Yeah.
Do you not know how like mentally, like how that could really affect a man's mental health?
Oh my
and the
God!
other
Yeah,
partner's mental health?
I'm
Because
sure.
it's like you've
I'm
planned
sure.
a whole.
It'd be very emotional and very sad, and it would suck. How emotional and sad were the slave owners in the American South when the Union won the Civil War?
Well, they were obviously very sad.
Oh yeah, so we shouldn't use men's emotions to justify rights infringements of other individuals and their bodies, now should we?
It's completely different though.
Oh, well, the only difference that I see is in one context, they were violating the rights of individuals in which were enslaved because they had to go from treating them as property to humans. But then in the other circumstance, we're just preventing the violation of a woman's right to bodily autonomy. And we're having to tell men that no, they can't just control a woman's body and force her to maintain pregnancy because they'd be sad.
Okay, well, okay, fair enough. I will admit, I think that's okay, fine. And my second reason why I support Trump is also about the trans community.
So you're just completely giving up on abortion?
No. I'm agreeing. Like, okay. I don't actually have any more to say about it, and I,
yeah,
like.
So, I hopefully listen. Hopefully, there's other reasons that you have to support Trump apart from trans people. I mean, trans people account for 0.1% of the American population. They don't hurt, harm, or affect you.
I have quite a few reasons.
You know, like I hope that fascism would maybe be a bigger deal.
But yeah, the reason with the T community is that I believe that there are certain things that have been put in place, and I have spoken to other people about this before, and my opinion has kind of changed in a certain way. But when it comes to the bathroom situation, I don't know, I'm not fully on board with the fact that trans people are allowed to go into the same bathroom as someone of the same gender. And I can kind of see where it's coming from. Go on.
I'll debate you on this. I could prove to you that allowing trans women to use a women's restroom is actually better for the safety of women, both cis and trans in the space. But before we do that, let me ask you a question. So if there was like a cis man that like said that they were trans just to like get into a woman's space, like a bathroom or a changing room, how would that make you feel?
Exactly. Oh, I was going to bring this up. It would make me feel disgusted.
Right. So if there was like a cis man that went into a woman's locker room or changing room, for instance, maybe they're like looking at like naked teenage girls and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, would you ever like support them if they were to run for a public office?
No.
No.
Wait. Sorry. What was the question?
Yeah. So if there was like a cis man that did this, you know, like walked into like a woman's or like teenage girl's locker room and looked at them while they're changing and naked, would you ever support them if they were to then later in their life like run for a public office like the presidency?
It depends. Is there like
really?
hard proof? You know, is there hard proof that they did this?
Oh yeah, certainly.
Like they bragged about it.
Yeah, like they actively bragged about it.
Then no, only if there's hard proof.
Okay,
if it's
now
just people
I would like to
saying it.
clarify that this isn't something Trump has done. Like the whole chat is saying that it is. It's not. Okay, they're just brainwashed liberals. But hypothetically, if it was something that Trump had done, would you change your mind right now and say today that you are never going to support Trump again?
If that is actually something you could do and that someone could provide me evidence of it right now, then yes.
Okay. And no takesy backsies at all?
I promise you no.
That. You're a guy who likes to have everything. Right?
Well, couldn't that be construed, however, as
conflict?
Yes.
I don't see it as a conflict.
It could be a conflict of interest, but you know, it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, you know, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with the vagina.
And, well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
You said no takesy backsies.
No, that is disgusting in every single way, in shape or form.
Okay, so then you agree that you don't support him, right?
Not after hearing that. That is completely vile and horrible. Sorry, I did not know about that.
I appreciate
I
that.
don't.
I actually really appreciate that response.
I actually did. I didn't know that this happened, and I don't know how someone could even do that, or how people could be. Even the people that were speaking to him about this, that's even more disgusting.
I wish that they'd play that more in news today. They highlighted on that pretty heavily when he was running against Hillary, and maybe they just stopped talking about it, like mainstream media, because he still won the election, so they just thought that nobody cared. But
Well,
I feel like people do care, and I wish that more people would talk about that today and put it around in the media and whatnot, because that's really fucking bad.
I think it's even worse that after someone's confessed that they've done something like that, you're letting them run for president. I think is even worse.
Right. Well, I guess we're gonna move on to our next guest, but I think that's awesome
Yeah.
that you could admit that that's really bad.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, that's a fucking W conversation. W conversation right there.
Yeah, Mia, thank you so much for the $1 over on PayPal. It's very kind of you. Thank you, Mia. I'm having a pretty bad asthma attack. Listen to me wheeze.
Are you okay?
Parker.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I'm living.
Hello?
Lord Blake, how old are you?
Do you need to grab anything real quick?
No, I'll be good. I'll be good for now. If it gets worse, I probably
I'm
will
19.
grab something. What year are you born in?
I do have some people to think real quick.
Go for it.
Beth, thank you for the $50. Thank you so much. I really
Hello?
appreciate it. Thank you. Can we some W's for Beth in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. W's for Beth. W, thank you so much, Beth. And Lucas, thank you for the $1. As well as Sid, thank you for the $50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get some W's for Sid? And yes, W to Mac. W to Mac for liking the streams now. Let's go. W Mac.
All right, Mr. Blake, are you MAGA? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Oh man, why?
So here's my point. I know Trump's not the perfect president. He's not. I'll admit he's not that great of a president, but I do think he is a 10 times better option than Kamala Harris.
Kamala, and why so?
Because Kamala Harris has nothing to prove that she's capable of being a good president.
Really? What do you mean? What would be something? Can you give me an example of something that would be good, right? And that would be evidence that you'd be a good president.
My friend Charlie Kirk says no new wars. The border is good for the most part.
Okay, so what they did in their prior administration. So in 2016, was Donald Trump good enough to be president?
Yeah, that's why I won.
Okay. So then, what qualifications are good as to identify who is going to be a good candidate for president?
I mean, policy.
What?
There you go. As soon as you start saying that policy can qualify,
Could you guys tell me why Kamala Harris would have been a good president?
Can you?
I'm asking you what Trump policy?
So you don't want to admit that Kamala Harris does
Kamala
immigration policy.
Don't worry, Blake. I'm gonna get into that as soon as Parker's done talking to you.
Okay, thank you. Immigration.
What immigration policy?
Like I said earlier, I don't believe Trump is a great president. I don't believe he's. I'm not like Charlie Kirk who just.
Wait, hold up. What immigration policy?
Immigration, so no more criminals.
No more criminals across the border and raping children for no reason.
Okay. So you don't want criminals and rapists in the country. Did you know that your presidential candidate that you voted for is not only a criminal but also a rapist?
No, he's not.
Did you know that? Yeah, well, he was held civilly liable of forcibly penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will, and he's a convicted criminal of 34 felonies.
Ad hominem.
That's not an ad hominem.
Yes, it is.
What the?
No, it's not.
Hey,
What is an ad hominem?
Blake, let me just break this down to you real quick. So
Yes.
you just made an argument that Donald Trump is keeping criminals and rapists out of America, and that's what makes him qualified to be the president. When Parker brings up the fact that he himself is an adjudicated rapist and a 34 count criminal, that's not an ad hominem. That's just merely pointing out the hypocrisy within your view, because for whatever reason, you have a problem with criminal rapists roaming free on the streets of America, but you don't have a problem with criminal rapists running the country from the Oval Office. And I think that is hypocrisy that deserves to be pointed out and responded to by yourself. So why are you not okay with criminals and rapists if they're undocumented immigrants? But you are okay with criminals and rapists if they're white men from
I got your points. I got your points. Now tell me why Kamala would have been good though.
So then answer my question.
Hey Blake, Kamala.
I understand Trump's not that good, but tell me why Kamala,
he's doing it purposefully now.
Yo,
my bad.
Blake, I just want to let you know, when you do that purposely, all it tells me is that Republicans are so stupid they can't even
Kamala, my bad. I'm not doing it on purpose, I promise.
But now listen, could you respond to my last question of why you're okay with the criminal rapist in the Oval Office? But
I mean,
not
he's
like
not
on the streets of
not a
America.
rapist.
So that was adjudicated by civil court, and I know unanimous court decision. Jury.
Okay, let's talk about Kamala Harris now. What is
Kamala?
I'm sorry, Kamala.
Yeah, you could just say
How
Harris.
would she gain your vote? How would she gain your vote? What has she done?
Child tax credit, $6,000
Wow,
child
that
tax credit
makes
for the
up
first
your
year of a
vote.
child's life,
Tax
3,600 through them 5 years old,
Okay.
3,000 through them 18. When implemented in 2021 through the American Rescue Plan, it reduced childhood poverty by 45%.
Bad talking, trying to persuade me into believing you could.
I'm sorry. You didn't hear what I said. Do you want me to say it slower for you?
I know how the debate stuff works. You guys talk in a way to persuade, but all your points are wrong.
What was wrong about my point? I said, okay, so again, 3,600 through them being 5 years old, 3,000 through them being 18. When implemented in 2021 through the through the American Rescue Plan, the child tax credit reduced childhood poverty by 45%.
Okay, so that's why Kamala makes your vote.
That's a huge reason. I can give you other reasons, like for example, the Inflation Reduction Act. Specifically, that was the largest investment in renewable energy ever, which would make us, more energy independent. That would actually allow us to transition towards how energy is going to look like in the future.
I get that, but I'd rather have no wars.
No wars. We
Trump
have
had
wars
no
right
wars.
now. Donald Trump didn't get the ceasefire with Russia and Ukraine. He's given more power to Russia, right? That's what he's done. He's given more power to dictators around the world. He's not given more power to democracy.
Okay, all right. Let's do another topic. What do you guys want to debate now?
Got nothing else there?
Can we talk about abortion?
Go ahead.
Okay, so obviously I'm pro-life.
Actually, can I ask you? You're pro-life? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my question: where does pregnancy occur in the human body?
Where does pregnancy occur in the human body?
That was a bad question, Parker. He obviously doesn't know. You're being mean. You're being mean, Parker. Stop being so mean. You're such a terrible debater, Parker.
Answer, Blake.
Always
Answer.
asking you.
Hold on. That's all I gotta say. When you have intercourse, life.
Blake, where does pregnancy occur in the human body?
At conception.
No, where does pregnancy occur in the human body?
The uterus.
Oh, okay. You had a friend had to tell you.
No,
that's brutal.
Honestly, the whole chat's spamming that you're a minor. Can you just be honest? Are you?
Not a minor. I'm 19.
You are a retard, bro. You're a fucking retard.
Oh, what the hell?
Hey,
use this Arsler.
Hey, Blake, go get your buddy in check. Go tell him that saying the R word isn't cool. All right.
But anyways, I'm pro-life. So
nah, bro.
We're gonna move on to the next guest. I actually do just think that he's a kid. Yo, James Dean in the chat says it's pretty cool. Ban him. Chris in the chat says it's cool. Ban him, bro. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Yo, Patrick, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear. Sage, thank you for the $5.
We're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. This will probably be one of the last debates of the nights for me, everybody. One of the last debates of the nights for me. Then I'm gonna pop off, and it's gonna be a little bit early. Then I'm also gonna be hopefully trying to go live on the earlier side or tomorrow afternoon, y'all. What time are you gonna go live tomorrow, Parker?
Luis, thank you so much. I appreciate the $15. Tomorrow, wait, hold on. It's probably I think I can go anytime during the day. What time were you gonna go live?
All right, they were like earlier or in the afternoon. Oh man, I am really tired. Brittany, stop.
I might do both.
Dee
I think I have all day tomorrow.
What? You're just gonna go live all day? Fire?
Yeah, I might go live for like 6 to 7 hours tomorrow.
Crazy. Nuts.
I've been doing 5 to 6 hours. I'm gonna do 5 today.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. 5 hours a day. I get really tired after 4. I can't take Trump supporters for more than 4 hours in a day.
I feel you on that. That was cool. We changed someone's mind though, and that was great. I love when that happens.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. All right, guys.
See, right there, it was literally just the information. Like they just literally didn't have the same
Hello.
information.
Your name is Debate Dean.
Yeah, I just had some great points. I'm 19. I just want to say, you are a Diddy Blood 6'7" mustard.
Something
What?
about Diddy and mustard. Beats me, man. We'll go to move on to the next guest. Jay, just give us a minute. Let's see here. Kate, thank you for the $3 over at Venmo saying keep doing what you do every day. I really enjoy watching you. That's incredibly kind, Kate. Shout out to Kate. As well as Lily. Thank you for the $25 over on PayPal. Let's get 250 Lily W's. Lily says, as somebody with a trans sibling of who I love dearly, watching these streams restores my hope for their future. Thank you. Thank you, Lily. That is an incredibly kind message, as well as a very generous donation. That is incredibly kind of you. Shout out Lily. Seriously. Shout out Lily down below in that chat. Oh, man. Oh, I can't wait to go downstairs, have a non-alcoholic drink, eat some ice cream, and watch some Gotham. Yeah. Coral, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, hope you use this to give yourself a little self-care. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Hello?
yeah. We're going to be doing some self-care tonight. Don't worry, Coral. What's going on, COL? Are you MAGA?
I am MAGA, yes.
Dude, why?
My last name's Dean, too, by the way.
No, change
Disastrous.
it. Change it. Change it.
Change it.
But anyway,
change
yeah,
it.
I do like Trump.
Change your name.
I do like Trump just because.
Why?
Sorry, what was that?
Change your name.
Oh, my bad. No, I do like Trump just because I do think that he is, like, he can't be bought out, if that makes any sense. Like,
Really? That was a
he's the
horrible
one
point.
making-
The meme
No, no,
coin
no,
he
just
dropped
listen.
to be able to
He's-
get funneled money to the multiple $100 million jet.
Can I just say, COL? I actually agree with you. that isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts?
no.
So I actually,
Yeah, I think we're on the same page there.
we are on the same page. I don't think that anybody can give money to Trump to get Trump to do what he wants to do. Okay, they give something else. They give adoration to Trump to get Trump to do what he wants to do.
A little bit of
They
both.
give attention to Trump to get Trump to do what they want Trump to do. They give love and praise and power to Trump to get Trump to do what they want him to do. Okay? And
But
in
at the end of the
fact,
day, I also-
Putin
Go
has
ahead.
even described Trump as being incredibly easy to manipulate. All right? Incredibly easy to manipulate. And that's why I say it's more about Trump's ego than it is his bank account. But don't worry, he's still a fucking grifter too. We're talking meme coin, rug pull, golden sneakers, Bible, guitar, and NFTs and watches. But all that aside, typically the reason why we would say it's wrong that politicians are bought out is because then they're just kind of deceiving the masses and doing things with bad intentions. Okay, well, like Donald Trump does that without accepting money from PACs. So, I mean, I think
Yeah,
that
but my
deserves some
main
point
point
out.
is, yeah, my main point is just like at the end of the day, he's the one that's like, all right, I'm the one that's gonna be like, it's gonna be my point. Whereas like
I mean, to be
other
fair,
politicians in the past,
because Elon's pro H1B, he became pro H1B. Because like Putin thinks, wants Americans to think that America's funding Ukraine too much. That's what Donald Trump has said. He's like pretty easy to manipulate.
I don't know. I don't think he's easy to manipulate. Anyway, I also am on the border as well. I think
Wait, before we move on, can we just like point out how like Putin literally destroyed him, manipulated the fuck out of Trump. So before the election, we'd leaked Kremlin documents where he called Trump easy to manipulate, as well as we'd leaked Kremlin documents where they talked about their idea to propagandize America to get them to think that we've been funding Ukraine's too much money. And then Donald Trump ran on that Russian propaganda. And then when Donald Trump got the office of the presidency, he defunded all humanitarian aid to Ukraine. And now what is happening? Putin and Russia are dropping the most bombs, the biggest bombs they've ever dropped on Ukraine, killing them every single day and rejecting any attempt to create a ceasefire. So they were able to successfully play Trump to get him to say what they wanted him to say to the American people, to weaken Ukraine so they could hit him even harder, to kill more innocent people, to try to steal their land to a greater degree. And that's what we see playing out in reality. And we're actually starting to see Trump acknowledge that. Like just earlier today, Donald Trump was talking about how he didn't think that Putin was like this, how Putin's like totally changed. And it's just now that Putin is a ruthless maniac that is bombing and killing innocent Ukrainians. And just now it's too much.
Yeah, and no, I agree on that point too as well. I don't think either side is in the right, and I think that war just needs to be over.
Can you respond to my argument that I just gave you about how they really successfully manipulated Trump, though, into doing exactly what they wanted Trump to do?
In that, like, we're more on Russia's side now than Ukraine's?
Well, Putin manipulated Trump into defunding Ukraine so they could just turn around and hit Ukraine harder.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good war strategy on Russia's part. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that war would have started. I mean, under if Trump got his second term.
Bro,
now,
you literally understand that they've only ramped up since the start of the second term. Seriously, today they dropped the biggest bombs they've ever dropped on Ukraine.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully that war is going to be ended soon.
How quick did Donald Trump say he could stop it?
He did say that. He did say that
in the first 24 hours.
Yep.
Right?
He did say
it's been how many days?
Probably about 100 days.
Over
90 days.
Over 100 days.
Okay. Yeah, and again, I do like Trump. I think he's the better person to pick over Harris. Okay. But
so you didn't respond to my argument that I gave you to show that Trump is easy to manipulate, and I didn't respond to my counter argument I gave you against your second point to demonstrate that they are now dropping the largest bombs they ever have on Ukraine. Hitting them with
and that's hopefully that is like that's gonna be like towards meaning that it's like the end of the war.
Wait, so are you saying that you want the war to end by Russia killing all the Ukrainians and stealing all their land?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like usually towards the end of wars, like there's like a big like something happens, a chain reaction of something, and then that's like, all right, the war's over, it's done. You know what I mean?
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Well, like when we dropped the bomb on Japan, like that was like essentially the end of the war.
So, but why did that end the war?
Because millions of people died, and they were like, "All right, well, we want this."
Because we ethnically cleansed a couple 100,000 Japanese individuals, and they couldn't fight back.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying that.
So,
that's
are you saying
that
like Russia dropping all these big bombs and killing all these Ukrainians is like ending the war, and they're just going to take all that Ukrainian land? So, I don't think that's a preferable outcome.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with that either. I'm just saying that could be towards.
So this means is Donald Trump failing as a president?
No, I don't think at all. I think he's done.
How can you not say that he's failing as a president as it relates to Russia and Ukraine when he said he'd end it in the first 24 hours in office, but now it's still been going for 120 days and it's only gotten worse?
I don't think it has gotten worse. So I think
yes, they have. They, like I just said, they've been dropping their biggest bombs that they have since the start of the war on Ukraine. Even like Donald Trump has acknowledged from his perspective that things have gotten worse. You understand that, right?
Yeah, and it could be.
I just want to clarify. So you don't think more innocent Ukrainians dying is shit getting worse?
No, that's horrible. I would not wish that.
So that is things getting worse. So that is shit getting worse.
Yeah,
right?
But that's not.
So then things are getting
not a whole reflection. That's not a whole reflection on Donald Trump's whole presidency.
Well, I didn't ask you about his whole presidency. I asked you if he's failing as it relates to Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, Russia and Ukraine. That's not a good outcome.
So Donald Trump is failing in that regard.
In that regard, yes. I think in immigration, though, he's done a pretty good job of immigration. I also think the economy is starting to come back a little bit too. At the start, it was really rough. People were worried about their 401ks and stuff like that. But now it seems to be coming back around. And I'm trying to think of what else.
In what way? What indicator shows it's coming back around?
The economy?
Yeah.
Dude,
jobs.
The S&P 500 is down from his inauguration day.
Yeah, but good things come.
You said jobs? Isn't unemployment rate up?
No, unemployment rate I'm pretty sure is down right now.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's gone up by 0.2%.
Okay. Again,
And then people's
All I think-
401ks have like literally on average gone down since the start of his presidency.
No, they're back. They're back up now.
No, I mean,
Actually.
for instance, like I just told you, I'm looking at the biggest 500 companies in the Nasdaq on the S&P 500. You do understand that it has gone down since his day of inauguration.
Yeah, but other things have gone up as well too. Like Bitcoin's now at an all-time high.
No, it's not. No way.
Bitcoin's at 110. Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, it's at an all-time high. Other cryptos are also
That's
going
not
up
an
as
all-time
well.
high.
Yeah. It hit 110 a couple days ago. That's its all-time high. Again, Bitcoin's not.
Oh, you're actually right.
Yeah, Bitcoin is not scale of how good Donald Trump is to be a president.
Yeah,
I'm not saying-
Bitcoin has no reflection on the president.
Yeah, I was just saying that that's back up.
Is it an all-time high or did it hit higher last?
Yeah, that's its all-time high is 110.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also think immigration, he's done a great job with the
Wait,
border.
can you tell me why you brought Bitcoin up? What does it have to do with Trump?
It's a
What do you think is a
$2
what do you think is a better reflection of people's 401ks, Bitcoin or the S&P 500?
Well, pretty soon it's going to be Bitcoin. But
Dude, what?
I'm telling you, dude.
What is guiding you to that conclusion?
So brutal.
No, it's just the dollar. I think that the dollar is going to shit. We just print more money every single day, and it's
we just mine more Bitcoin every single day.
Well, there's only 21 million Bitcoin to be mined, and it's all going to be mined pretty soon.
They haven't all been mined yet.
No, they haven't been all mined yet. But regardless, sorry, we're going on to crypto now. But
why, but like, what is this like? What's a better reflection of people's 401ks right now? The S&P 500 or Bitcoin?
Probably the S&P 500.
Okay,
But
yeah,
again,
so the S&P 500 it's gone down since the start of his presidency.
Yeah. But again, I think by the end of the year we'll probably be back up to all.
Did you know by this point in like Biden and Harris's term, in Obama's term, like we were already up and up and up. If Kamala Harris was president right now, we'd be seeing all-time highs.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you that I think if Kamala Harris was elected, sorry, I got it. It's Kamala.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. No, I do think that if she was elected, that at the start, things would be very good. Like right away, it would be very good. But then down the line, it would probably, like the economy and stuff would suffer. And now that
wait, what was her policy that was going to make the economy suffer?
I actually don't know any of her policies. I'm not.
So
gonna
then
lie.
why would you say that the economy would suffer? What the fuck?
No, I'm saying that with Trump, it had to go down to fix things, like to change a lot of stuff.
That's not true. That's not
It
true.
did, though.
Everything that you're saying is false.
What economist said that? What, like, literally, tell me what economist said we have to go down.
No. I'm not saying the economy has to go down. I'm saying like things have to change because he's not going to do the same stuff as Biden did or Obama did.
What does that mean? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you understand that, like, you're just I don't know. When I hear these quote unquote economic arguments, like the one you're giving me right now, I just literally think like flat Earth, like flat earthers. You just remind me of a flat earther. Like you're like, oh my God. Like imagine that you walk into a calculus class at an esteemed university and you start acting like you know more than the professor. And then you fucking whip out your phone calculator and start doing simple addition. Like, like all these statements, like, it had to go down before it goes up, like, according to fucking who?
No, I'm not
like,
talking
like
about
what?
the economy.
Or if
You're
Kamala
saying
Harris
it.
was elected president, the economy would have gone down in the long term, according to fucking who? Like, what is the economic argument that is very substantive that you could use to justify this position? Okay, why would the economy have gone down in the long term if Kamala Harris was elected? What leads you to that conclusion?
So I think that if Harris was elected, that the border problem would not be solved, and there would be millions of migrants.
Wait, you think it's solved?
Yeah, I think it's pretty close.
What's the root cause of undocumented entry?
That's
into
not what
America?
Trump says.
What's the root cause of undocumented entry?
Yeah.
Just the fact that people aren't going to be entering the country anymore.
Parker, was that a coherent response to the question I asked?
No, dude.
No, sorry. What was the question?
What's the root cause of undocumented entry into America?
The root cause is policy, I would say. Like Donald Trump is just like, all right, we're gonna. And he.
What policy?
There was no change in policy, right? So he came in.
So wait.
There was no change in policy,
Can
right?
you repeat the question that I asked you?
Yeah, you asked what is the root cause of people coming into the country? People come here
Use of
because America
undocumented
is the
means.
greatest. Yeah, undocumented immigrants. They come
So-
here because they want freedom. Their countries suck.
So that was
America's
okay.
the best.
Okay. So America's not the best, but that's besides the point. So that's like a root cause of immigration is people want a higher quality of life. But I'm asking you
Yes.
for the specific cause or reason why individuals will decide to pursue undocumented means of entry compared to legal documented means of entry.
Because it takes a long time, and I do think that needs to change as well.
Yeah, so we have now agreed that the root cause of undocumented entry is the fact that legal means of entry into America can be very unattainable for many. So the
Yeah,
only way
it
that we
takes a lot of-
solve undocumented entry is if we got rid of that root cause, which would be to fix the legal processes of immigration into America. I already know that Donald Trump has never passed any policy to try or attempt to do that. Can you name a time where he's even just spoken at a mic on a podium and said he wants to do that?
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
No, he's never spoke on a podium.
So
or
he's never
anything.
addressed the root cause of undocumented entry into America. How could you expect him to be an effective policymaker?
No, and that's what I was saying, that he hasn't changed the policy or anything like that. He just came in and said, all right, I'm the president now. I'm going to get this done. And it got done.
No,
Like
I
people.
I'd expect there to be massive drops in undocumented entry when he's violating the human rights of the undocumented immigrants that are in America. I don't think there's a very ethical way of solving the issue, nor is it effective in the long term.
Why don't you think it's effective in the long term?
Because there'll be presidents after him that don't violate the human rights of undocumented immigrants?
Yeah, and I would say that it's unethical to the people that are legally trying to enter. You know what I mean?
So it's not unethical to violate the human rights of humans in some circumstances?
Yeah, no, that's unethical.
Okay, well, that's what I said, is that I think it's very unethical of him to violate the human rights and take away due process and other constitutional protections from undocumented immigrants.
Yeah, but it's also unethical for people that are doing it the right way. You know what I mean? Like people that are waiting.
Actually, don't know what you mean.
I'm saying, like,
Can
so
you
let's
address
say
the fact that he's violated the constitutional rights of undocumented immigrants?
how has he done that?
Yeah, by deporting people without due process.
Why is that a bad thing though? Because people are invading the country, and it's
Invading?
Okay. So if
people are invading
so
the
if it's
country.
not bad for Trump to break the law, why is it bad for undocumented immigrants to break the law?
Yep.
I mean, I don't really think he's breaking the law though. It's an invasion.
What? You don't think convicted criminal held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman is breaking the law?
We don't even need to go there, because he said that he's not breaking the law as it relates to
Oh, yeah.
deportations.
There you go.
Read this out loud, the whole thing. Just read it out loud.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where should I start? The top?
Yeah.
All right, on March 15th, 2025, then there's like some stickers here, so I can't read that. Okay, there you go. Thank you. On March 15th, 2025, the United States removed Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia from the United States to El Salvador. This was the MS-13 guy, right?
No.
Continue
No,
reading.
he was not MS-13.
Can you just
Okay,
continue
sorry.
reading? Sierra?
I'm just reading about him. Go ahead. Where he is currently detained in the Center for Terrorism Confinement. The United States acknowledges that Abrego Garcia was subject to a withholding order forbidding his removal to El Salvador, and that the removal to El Salvador was therefore illegal. The United States represents that the removal to El Salvador was the result of an administrative error. The United States alleges, however, that Abrego Garcia has been found to be a member of the MS-13, a designated foreign terrorist organization, and that his return to the United States would pose a threat to the public. Abrego Garcia responds that he is not a member of MS-13 and that he has lived safely in the United States with his family for a decade and has never been charged with a crime.
So the reason why I had you read that off is because you said that Donald Trump has not illegally deported undocumented immigrants. And I just proved you wrong because there was a ruling from SCOTUS that says he has.
Okay, but don't you think that it's okay for us to deport illegal immigrants that have invaded our country illegally? Because that's in our
I mean,
Constitution.
if you think it's okay, well, no, they actually ruled that is unconstitutional. But if you think it's okay for Trump to break the law once again, well, why is it okay for undocumented immigrants to break the law? Why do you only apply the standard of law and order to the people that are just trying to seek a better life for them and their families, that are 2 times less likely to commit violent crimes than natural-born U.S. citizens that provide $300 billion to the GDP per year and pay about
Oh
$100
yeah,
billion
and
in taxes? But then you don't apply the standard, and you're completely okay with the 34-count rapist con man that is decreased the American GDP, places America last, and has tried to steal and has tried to rig and steal in a federal election. You don't care if he breaks the law, but you care if the undocumented immigrants do. Why is that?
yeah. Well, it is very long. It would be a very long process for us to take. Like I don't know how much people that we've deported or anything like that. But let's say we take 500 people. How long do you guys think that would be for due process to deport them?
You're doing the thing. You're justifying undocumented
No. I'm not
immigration.
justifying it at all.
Listen,
I'm just asking.
listen. Your logic justifies undocumented entry into America. You're saying it's okay for Donald Trump to break the law because if he didn't break the law, it would take too long. Weren't you the one that agreed with me 10 minutes ago that the reason people break the law and come into this country without the use of documented procedures is because the legal means would take too long? Like you're like Trump can break
so
the
that's
law if,
something
if
that's
it's for
something that we need to
efficiency.
fix then.
So then why can't undocumented immigrants break the law for efficiency?
So we're kind of on the same page here because we're
That's
both.
actually just like, dude, no, seriously, like actually that point.
Yeah, there needs to be a better way to get into the country.
So it's
It needs
okay
to
for
be
them to break
faster.
the law because there isn't, because it's too slow.
No, that should not be okay.
Okay, so then
And
why is it okay for Trump?
there should be a different. There should
Why
needs to be.
is it
like, a law
okay
change.
for Trump?
It's not.
You just told me that it was.
No, I was just saying like that. Let's just say there's 500 immigrants, right? And they've came into the country illegally. Now we need
So
to
you're
change
saying
the
it's
law.
okay for him to break the law, violate their
No, I'm
constitutional
not.
rights?
Again, I'm not. I'm saying
Oh,
there
okay.
needs to be a
Okay,
law
so
change.
then we should punish Trump for breaking the law. What should we do to him?
I don't think we need to punish Trump
So then why do we need to punish undocumented immigrants?
because they came in here illegally.
They broke the law. So did Trump.
I know. So that's my whole thing. though. It needs to, like, they can
if
go
you
back
think
to-
that we shouldn't punish one lawbreaker, why should we punish other lawbreakers?
Okay, you have a good point. But again, this is my point as well, that there needs to, and I think me and you are on the same page here. There needs to be a law change that people can get into this country easier, right?
All right. Parker, do you have anything you want to go over with him?
Nope. Bye.
Well, I was gonna say also, both of you guys, I'm really like, I do like MAGA and everything. Like, I'm honestly more of a libertarian than like a full on MAGA. But
you're
I see what you guys do, and it's nice to see what you guys do and everything like that.
I
Getting your guys'
appreciate that, man. But I want to let you know that a more classical sense of libertarianism is pretty okay with open borders. If I were you, the only
That's
conception,
actually what the view is.
yeah, the only conception of libertarianism, or the two conceptions of libertarianism that I can acknowledge, it's like a minimal state that only exists to protect the negative rights of those within it. However, you also have another conception of libertarianism where there isn't a state at all, right? And under both of those two conceptions of the state, seemingly there'd be no need for any border control whatsoever. In fact, libertarians make the argument that border patrol is bad because it is a case that it's just another restriction on the market, one that particularly restricts the free flow of labor entry into the market. So,
Yeah, I mean,
libertarian professors and economists all over the world disagree with strict border patrol and border security and whatnot. A good
Yeah,
example,
but I
like
do
Michael
think-
Humer. Michael Humer is a libertarian professor at CU Boulder. He teaches a whole class about social and political philosophy, and something that he loves to highlight is how much he hates borders.
Yeah, I mean, more of the libertarian views that I would have is abortion and gun control as well.
Okay, all right, peace.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, Parker, I'm gonna go in for the night. If I'm on for much longer, I won't want to go live tomorrow. But before we hop off here, Brittany, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you. As well as AMA DEO, thank you for the $50 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you, AMA DEO. Thank you so much. They say, my dad is arguing this. I'm trans, please debate him. seriously, next time you're with your dad, please request to join the live. And I would love to have you up here so I could have a conversation with your dad. Thank you so much for the $15 on PayPal as well. That's incredibly kind of you. Please show some love to AMA DEO down below in that chat. But we are done with the debates for the night. I am so tired.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably be on for like 40 more minutes or so. Probably do like 40 more minutes left of debates. Around there. I'm trying to think of whether or not I'll just go on TikTok because mine has been lagging every day for the chat.
I mean, I could give you a raid to your YouTube channel.
I could do that.
It's up to you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, should we just do that? Everyone to YouTube.
Yeah, that'd probably be a big raid.
All right, everyone, go to YouTube, please. I beg of you, please go to the YouTube, like the stream.
Yeah, for everybody in here, you guys should all go to @ParkerGetAJob on YouTube. I will see you all tomorrow. I hope that you have a good rest of your evening watching and hanging out in Parker's stream. I'm going to go grab some grub. Good night to all. Take care, everybody.
Good night, bro.